Alabama, Lone Top, Mississippi, Possum Point, Georgia, Miami.
Who's Amy?
Miami.
Hey, you mean your Amy?
Bo Hunkers.
Bo Hookers?
Bo Hunkers.
Bo Hunkers?
Oh, I beg your pardon. Hoboken.
Hoboken. Oh, well, Mr. Conductor, I want to go to Hot Town.
Hot Town?
Yes, sir.
That's the last stop.
Last.
All aboard.
All right, sir.
Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. How are y'all doing? It's been a while. It's been a while, and I'm glad to have you back. Filters. We can now add in an upward compressor. OBS had a... Oh, you know what? Before I get started on anything, I should really load the game up, you'd think. OBS had a... an update not too long ago, about a month ago. And it threw me for a loop, and I did not want to update it unnecessarily. But everything seems on the good. So I'm happy to have it running. Anyway, tonight I figured I'd play some Crime and Punishment, and it's open voice chat, which means that if any of the people on the Discord wanted to hop in, we might be getting a few bailiffs. Which reminds me, I gotta get my bailiff images going on here. There's a car in the background. There's a bailiff. There's a bailiff. There's a bailiff. I got 3 bailiffs kicking in. So I've got 3 bailiffs. Anyway, welcome. I should shrink myself down so that you can... How does that look? Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Look at me, I'm fine. I'm awesome. there's not going to be any subtitles today. Gonna play with no subtitles. Just don't need them. I have so many windows open. Anyway, how have all of you been? I hope everyone has been good. I hope all of you have eaten all of your holiday goodies, seeing how it's now almost nearly a month after the holidays. So I really hope you have eaten your holiday goodies. If not, you should really consider throwing them out and putting them in the compost. Except for fruitcake. That fruitcake will never go bad. You'll be eating that. You'll invite friends over for Easter fruitcake. And they'll be like, wow, you made Easter fruitcake, and you can just kind of hide the calendar and laugh. Ha ha ha, yes. Yes. You're absolutely right there. Easter fruitcake. Ha ha ha. How did you know? Oh wow, I should really do that too, shouldn't I? Wonder if any of the... Oh no, that's just something I had considered. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Welcome, Crime Punishment. How's our audio? Hey, audio's good. Without further ado, let's hop in. We're just gonna fight through all of this. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna play a couple of cases. Did I? Oh, I have more. Look at this. I have more bailiffs if I need to. I have that guy as a bailiff. I have this guy as a bailiff. There's a bailiff. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 bailiffs just kicking here. 6 if I include this car. If I get a 6th bailiff, they'll be the car. Alright, everybody. Let's play some Crime Punishment. Let me just do another really quick check. If everything's on the up and up. It does seem to be. Okay. That's good, that's good, that's good. That's there and that's there. Don't need that. That's good. OBS. Alright. We're set. Let's play some Crime Punishment. Actually, let's see if I can... Can I play this just through the game? Press G to start the game. Nope. No, I can't. So I'm not gonna. That was simple. Alright. Court is now in session. Your rating will be affected by how much and what kind of information you choose. Well, let's take a look at our first case for the night. Usually on. So, by the way, remember to have your hydration ready. The defendant is to be sentenced for the crime of a violation of probation. Boom. As always, the house rules go that we are going to play, and if there are any sensitive cases, we will issue a 99-year prison sentence and be done with it, move on to the next. Secondly, the second house rule is that if the game crashes, which it does, then we will simply cancel the game and deem that we have judged the case accordingly correct. With that said, crime is violation of probation. Let's look at the details of this crime. And we're going to look at the... Pardon me. We're going to look at me switching up some settings. We're going to look at the... Oh, you know what? That should help a little bit. So that you guys can actually hear the music. Why am I even playing music if you can't hear it? That's good. Alright. Violation of probation. Let's take a look at property damage or loss. And the demographics for this case are the offender is a 65-year-old white Mormon male. The victims are the state and the people. The offender-victim relationship, society is the victim. The crime is violation of probation. The weapon used in physical injury was none. The property damage or loss is none. And the excuse given for this crime is the offender said he had an irresistible urge. Gonna lower that volume down a little more. And back. The offender said he had an irresistible urge to do violation of probation. Doesn't say for what, though. The offender's criminal record are that the adult prior crime types include traffic offenses. And the prior arrests and convictions for the 60-plus-year-old man are that he has had 4 recorded prior arrests and 4 recorded prior convictions. On the fugitive status on the day of the crime, the offender was not a fugitive. Let's look at the offender's reputation. They're a Little League coach. Aw. So, this I think he was 64-year-old man, was he? 65-year-old guy. So a 65-year-old guy violates probation. He's been in the system once or twice, but otherwise he's kind of keeping her clean, and he's a Little League coach. Yeah, that sounds fair. Okay, well, let's look at the pre-sentence report. Yeah, we're going to look at his personal details. The offender is engaged to be married. Congratulations, sir. He drinks socially, and he's a self-taught person. His employment history is that he's a doctor. Wow. The courtroom so far, everything is on the up and up. The courtroom prosecution details state the defendant says, "I'm sorry." The prosecutor calls for a strong sentence at a press conference. What did this guy do? Okay. Let's review the... I don't think we need to review the known facts, but we're going to do it anyway. In the case of violation of probation, there was no monetary loss. Society is the victim. There was no personal injury. The offender is a 65-year-old man. The victims are the state and the people. The offender said he had an irresistible urge to violate his probation. The offender is not a fugitive. The offender is a Little League coach. Prior crimes include traffic offenses in his 65 years of life, and he has had 4 recorded prior arrests and 4 recorded prior convictions. The defendant says, "I'm sorry." The prosecutor inexplicably calls for a strong sentence at a press conference. The offender is engaged to be married, drinks socially, and is a self-taught person. Also, the offender is a doctor. Well. Violation of probation. That's interesting, isn't it? Well, who knows? Maybe it could be worse. I don't know. Let's I think that as far as this is a tough one, really. There's I can't see violation of probation being prison worthy. Especially this guy's relatively clean. He's on probation for something, so he violated it. I don't know. And I don't think further violation or further probation is going to help his violation of probation. That's kind of redundant. So maybe, and just maybe this guy should do some jail time. But honestly, I can't see this guy doing too much jail time. I want to give this guy like 2 days of jail time. Seriously, don't do this. Yeah, put him in the tank for the weekend. 7.5 months of jail. You can't see it, but I'm shaking my head. No. I think we all saw that coming. We all expected that to happen, right? Now, not much we can do. Let's take a look at the Well, let's look at our score. Whatever that's worth. Only one gavel. Perhaps we should study medicine. Gavels 1. Judicial IQ 11. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Welcome to the game. Let's continue on. Now it's time for our next case. Remember, it is how much and what kind of information that is important. Ooh, the defendant is to be sentenced for the crime of possession of a deadly weapon. Crime of possession of a deadly weapon. Wow. These could get interesting. Let's take a look at the details of this crime. And we're going to look at the demographics. As always, we start off with the demographics to see who is doing what. That if the offender is a 31-year-old Hispanic male, the victims are the state and the people. 31-year-old guy, possession of a deadly weapon. The offender-victim relationship, society is the victim. And the weapon used physical injury, it was a switchblade. 31-year-old guy had a switchblade. Let's look at the property damage or loss. There was none. And the excuse given for this crime, the offender said the reason was political. You know what, I kind of... Bear with me a moment. I'm going to actually load up the translation. I'm going to get translation Chan in here. I don't mind translation Chan taking a backseat. She'll handle some heavy work. She'll do the heavy lifting. Although I gotta admit, it's a little slow to load tonight, so don't put all your eggs in one basket there, translation Chan. Welcome, translation Chan. Back to the game. Did we miss anything? Nah. Alright. The 31-year-old had a switchblade, and he said the reason he had a switchblade was political. Let's look at the offender's criminal record. The adult prior crime types include animal abuse. That's not cool. Arrests and convictions are 4 recorded prior arrests and 2 recorded prior convictions. And the fugitive status on the day of the crime, the offender is wanted for child support. The offender's reputation, he's a common thug. Oh, guess this happens. Let's look at the pre-sentence report. And we're going to look at his personal details. This 31-year-old man is judicially separated. He doesn't use drugs, and he is a recipient of Reform School honors. Oh. He is a recipient of Reform School honors. This guy, he's reformed. He's good. Congratulations, young man. You might be a common thug, but you're an upstanding common thug. Let's look at the employment history. He's a civil servant. In the courtroom prosecution details, the defendant threatens a pre-witness for the prosecution. That's not cool in my courtroom. You're no longer an upstanding common thug. A TV reporter predicts you, the player, will imprison the defendant. We'll see. First, let's review the known facts. In the crime of possession of a deadly weapon, there has been no monetary loss. Society is the victim. The weapon was a switchblade knife. The offender is a 31-year-old male. The victims are the state and the people. The offender said the reason he was possessing a deadly weapon was that it was political. The offender is wanted for child support. The offender is a common thug. Prior crimes include animal abuses, and he has had 4 recorded prior arrests and 2 recorded prior convictions. He's seen a lot of activity. The defendant threatens a pre-witness for the prosecution. A TV reporter predicts you will imprison the defendant. The offender is judicially separated. He doesn't use drugs, and he is a recipient of Reform School honors. And the offender is a civil servant. Well, there you go. How are we going to score this one, eh? I don't know. Good question. Carrying a switchblade on its own? On its own, I think this is probation worthy. I don't think this is really worth doing anything. However, with that said, a couple of extenuating factors in this case. He threatened a pre-witness. So right there, I don't think that it's probation worthy. I think that has now upped to at least jail. He's been through the system, through being wanted for child support and having issues of animal abuse in his past. So he's no stranger to the institution, regardless of his Reform School honors merit. I don't know. I don't see this being prison worthy. I'm going to give this guy jail. I'm going to put this guy away for... Honestly, I think it's a pretty small case. But he did threaten someone, so I'm going to put him away for jail for 4 months. I think 4 months is appropriate. Honestly, threatening the pre-witness was the deciding factor on this one. Well, let's see how we did. Prison for 2 years. That's harsh. That's harsh. It's harsh. Oh well, hey. You do what happens, right? You do what you have to. We got 1 gavel. Perhaps we should study medicine. Gavels. 1. Judicial IQ. 11. We're not exactly... Well, hey, we didn't do any worse than the last case. We're batting 1,000. Batting 1,000. Everyone, congratulate yourselves on a good case. Okay, let's find out how we do next. Now it's time for our next case, everybody. Remember, it is how much and what kind of information that is important. The defendant is to be sentenced for the crime of carrying a concealed weapon. Sentenced for the crime of carrying a concealed weapon. These can get interesting. We've seen interesting ones. Let's take a look at some details of the crime. Now we're going to look at the demographics. The offender is a 25-year-old black Catholic male. The victims are the state and the people. And the offender-victim relationship. Society is the victim. The crime is carrying a concealed weapon. Let's take a look at the weapon used in physical injury. The weapon was a .44 Magnum. Property damage or loss, no monetary loss, and the excuse given for this crime by this young man. The offender said the reason was peer group pressure. Yeah. And how old was he again? He was... Come on, where is it? Demographics. How'd they find if it was concealed? No idea. just walking down the street saying, hey, you know what? That guy looks like he has a 44 Magnum on him. Demographics are, he was 25 years old. As always, it's good to see you here, GC. So let's, and since it's open VC, open voice chat, if you wanted to pop in, you may. If not, feel free to just watch and play along. The offender's criminal record. We're going to look at adult prior crime types. Specific crime type information is unavailable. That's our first red flag that the game might crash, but we'll keep playing on. Prior arrests and convictions. Oh, he's clean as a whistle. Clean slate for this young man. Fugitive status on the day of the crime. Canada requests extradition. Canada requests extradition because he's carrying a weapon. That's totally a good reason, I suppose. It's totally not a good reason. Let's take a look at the pre-sentence report. And we're going to look at some personal details. The offender is married by common law. Drinks temperately and is a parochial school graduate. He is practicing to be a man of the cloth. His employment history is that he's an itinerant. He is a drifter. I seem to recall some British television show that was talking about being adrift. Courtroom prosecution details are that the jury recommends a stiff sentence and the media blasts soft judges. So there we have it. Oh, you know what I didn't check out? I didn't check out his reputation. Not that it really matters. I think this case is cut and dry, but I want to see his offender's reputation. He's also known as the Brain. Well, there you have it. Let's review the known facts. Honestly, I don't see a lot happening with this case. So, in the crime of carrying a concealed weapon, there was no monetary loss. Society is the victim. The weapon itself was a .44 Magnum. Yes, itinerant does mean drifting, as in vagrancy and drifting, and not being able to hold down one place and moving from one location to the next. The offender is a 25-year-old man. The victims are the state and the people. The offender said the reason was pure grip pressure. Canada requests extradition. The offender is also known as the Brain. Specific crime type of information is unavailable. Recorded priors include nothing and nothing. He's clean. The jury recommends a stiff sentence. The media blasts off judges. The offender is married by common law, drinks temperately, and is a parochial school graduate. And the offender is an itinerant. Well. Hey, GC, do you have any thoughts on how this case should go? You don't have to explain yourself, because if you're typing with thumbs, I don't want to strain your thumbs and give you carpal tunnel syndrome. Personally, I don't think anything happened. I think that carrying a concealed weapon is a crime, and so that's jail-worthy. It's not probation-worthy. He should go to jail. You don't carry a concealed weapon, especially with a 45 Magnum, a 44 Magnum. The reason being peer pressure. I can believe that. He's 25 years old. He's impressionable. He probably hasn't done anything with his life. I mean, he's very clean. So, other than Canada requesting extradition for whatever reason that might be, whatever those hosers are thinking, I think this is just jail-worthy. I'd put him in for, 15 days of jail. A month. I wouldn't even put him in for a month. I don't see this being prison-worthy, and although I do believe it is probation-worthy, carrying a concealed weapon and a 44 Magnum, I think it's definitely jail-worthy, but I don't want to. Well, maybe half a month is too lenient. It is a 45 Magnum, so 1 month of jail. That's my guess. I sincerely think it's going to be 1 month of jail. GC, if you got any numbers you want to throw in, we'll, any justification for that as well, but if not, that's cool too. I think 1 month of jail. If you go any worse than this, probation for 6 years, I would totally be on probation for 6 years. I really would, except that the crime of carrying a concealed weapon is a little more harsh than that. I would be 100% on board with probation for 6 years, but I think this guy has to go into the system, and I can't see it. Yeah, let's not put that. Let's put that on a napkin and tuck it in our back pocket. Let's see how 1 month of jail goes. 18 months of jail, a year and a half of jail. Hey, you know what? I can respect that. I don't like it, but I can respect it. Well, let's see how we did for scoring. Hey, we're being consistent and we're batting 1,000. Gavels, 1. Judicial, IQ, 11. That's all we've done so far this game. Is those 3 cases we've had so far are just worth 1 gavel each. And good day, Lucy. Good to see you around again. It's always a pleasure to have you on board. This game is Crime and Punishment. It's a judge simulation game, a roguelike judge simulation game from 1984 as played through a Commodore 64 emulator. And it is definitely time for us to go into medicine. Lucy, what we're going to do is we're going to be fed a bunch of facts in this case, and we have to make a decision on the fate of the verdict. And then we are scored against what this fake green algorithm is going to do. And that's the game. And it's incredibly fun. So Lucy, be prepared to gauge the next case. Remember, it is how much and what kind of information that is important. Well, that's a sensitive one, and so we're just going to go prison 99 years. Bam, we're going to take our lumps and run with it. Now it's time for our next case. Remember, it is how much and what kind of information that is important. The defendant is to be sentenced for the crime of cocaine sale. Crime of cocaine sale. There we go. And we're going to look at the details of this crime. First off, we always look at the demographics to see what's going on. The offender is a 42 Oriental male. The victims are the state and the people. We got a 42-year-old guy here. The offender-victim relationship. The offender didn't think anyone would be hurt. He's a 42-year-old guy sold cocaine. Didn't think anyone would be hurt. The weapon used physical injury was none. Although, let's face it, it was cocaine. The property damage or loss was $85,000. I'm sorry to say that's a lot of cocaine. I think the offender didn't think anyone would be hurt, but their wallets sure were touched. And the excuse given for this crime of sale of cocaine, the offender said he didn't do it. Wait a minute. The offender, in the crime of cocaine sale, the offender didn't think anyone would be hurt. But then he also said that he's pleading innocent. And it was for $85,000. This is an interesting case. Let's take a look at the criminal record for this 42-year-old man. His adult prior crime types include speeding in a vehicle, I can only assume. Prior arrests and convictions are 2 recorded prior arrests and 1 recorded prior convictions. The fugitive status on the day of the crime is he has no holds. And the offender's reputation, he is sexually aberrant. Thanks, Translation Chan. Thanks a lot. Let's take a look at pre-sentence report here. And we're going to take a look at the personal details. This 42-year-old man is unmarried. He smokes marijuana, and he is a junior high school graduate. His employment history is that he's a menial laborer. In the courtroom, prosecution details the defendant pleaded guilty. He says he's innocent, but he pleaded guilty. That's an interesting combination. The ACLU says that a harsh sentence would be an outrage. $85,000 is easily acceptable in the eyes of the ACLU. How do you plead? Not guilty, Your Honor. Not in this case. Oh boy. I think we've hit it all. I think that we've seen everything. I think we need to review the known facts. In the crime of cocaine sale, the property damage or loss was $85,000. The offender didn't think anyone would be hurt. There was no personal injury. The offender is a 42-year-old man. The victims are the state and the people. The offender said he didn't do it. The offender has no holds. The offender is sexually aberrant. Prior crimes include speeding in what we can only assume is a vehicle. Prior recorded arrests are 2. Prior recorded convictions are 1. The defendant pleaded guilty. Although they claim they're innocent and didn't do it, they pleaded guilty, which I can understand. Sure, maybe he's trying to get a plea bargain, something. The ACLU says that a harsh sentence would be an outrage. I think they were having an off day. The offender is unmarried, smokes marijuana, is a high school graduate, junior high school graduate, and the offender is a menial laborer. Whew, that's a lot to unpack. Lucy, GC. Why, I'm curious what your thoughts are. If you'd like to score this case, we'll run with you. I'm going to say what I'm thinking here, and that's, first of all, this guy's going away for prison. This is prison worthy. This is totally prison worthy. What's the ACLU? Asks GC. The GC, the ACLU. I'm just trying to get Translation Chan in trouble here. The ACLU, I believe, stands for the Civil Liberties Union of America. The American Civil Liberties Union. So if there's a case that needs to be tested, something interesting which comes up that a normal judicial body can't quite understand or grasp, then the ACLU will pitch in their 2 cents, and they'll say, oh, we've done some study, and given certain things, we can only think that this is what it can be. So they throw in their weight. Their knowledged weight. In this case, regardless of the fact that this guy, this 42-year-old man, has been selling cocaine, didn't think anyone would be hurt, $85,000 worth. I mean, that's prison worthy in my eyes. I don't see that being jail or probation. The ACLU says a harsh sentence would be an outrage. I think a harsh sentence would be the ideal choice here. Hey, not a problem. Glad to help, GC. I believe that putting this guy away for at least 5 years of prison. I don't think this is 10 years of prison. I definitely don't think this is 20 years of prison. I think this is 5 years of prison. Yeah. Let's run with that. And if you have any numbers you wanted to throw on a napkin there, Lucy or GC, you can toss in your bets. We'll pin them on the dartboard and we'll throw our dart in a moment. I'll give you about 30 seconds to throw a number or so onto the chat, and we'll run with that. Meanwhile, I just want to thank both of you for showing up, as well as any other viewers. Just chilling out, tuning in, whether it's live or through the VOD. I always enjoy playing this game, and it's always fun to have people around. Lucy! Now you're throwing in, I think you threw in 18, and I'm going to guess that's prison, because I can't see 18 months of jail, although that would equate to a year and a half of jail, which is possible. I can't see you doing 18 months or years of probation, so I think you're saying 18 years of prison. GC says 5 years of prison. Lucy, we're going to see if you're close to what this green AI monster thinks. And let's take a look. Well, here's the thing, is that the game crashed, and the house rule is always that we are correct. So while I load in the next case by rebooting the entire system, hard reset, toss that on, make sure the audio is off so we don't deafen ourselves. Anyways, that means that we got an unofficial symmetrical tug award. It was totally 5 years of prison as well, Lucy. It was 18 years of prison. Congratulations. You did good. You got 10 gavels. Gavels. Unofficial. 10. Dang, but yay. Judicial IQ. 1 billion. Great job, everybody. Round of applause. Pat yourself on the back. You too, Translation Chan. We love you. Oh, that sucks that it crashed, but hey, that's the game. Now is as good a time as anything for a hydration check, everybody. Hydration check. Hydration check. Fantastic. Water or juice? I always drink water when I'm streaming. Okay, that's a bold-faced lie. I like to drink water when I'm streaming, but if I'm streaming at the early hours of the morning, and you can always see my current clock, it's up in the top right corner of the screen. You can see the timestamp. Currently, we're at 2100 hours. If it's early in the morning, I'm drinking coffee. Simple as that. I'm a coffee kind of cat. I think GC can appreciate the coffee. Just, you know, throwing that out there. Do you think the crashing of the emulator... Hey, welcome aboard, June. Do you think the crashing of the emulator is actually part of the emulator emulating an actual C64 crashing? Were they prone to crashing? Translation Chan, you the real MVP. And by the way, June, we're streaming and we're in OpenVC if you want to join in. The Commodore 64 never crashed. Now, I say that having owned a Commodore 64, in that it didn't crash hard in this sense. In a, oh no, unknown error, can't divide by 0 crash. It never did that. It would not load up if there was corrupt data. In which case, here we are. This is clearly not corrupt data, because we're playing it. If there was a problem with the Commodore 64, it would just shut down immediately. It really would. So this is totally the emulator crashing. This is an emulator issue. Or perhaps it's even the ROM. All right, with that said, everybody, welcome aboard. We're back. We're going to play Crime and Punishment yet again. And now it's time for our next case. Oh, crap. There we go. That's what I was looking for. That's why I couldn't do anything. We're back. Court is now in session, everybody. Your rating will be affected by how much and what kind of information you choose. Let me just do one really... Oh! Oh, I see, you know what? I see you in there. I also see that you're in mute, but that's fine. That's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. Hey, everyone, we got Bailiff June going on in here. This is Bailiff June Kawamori. She's got her own YouTube channel, and I highly recommend everyone subscribe to her. Let me just pull up. You're a bailiff today, June. What animal would you like to be? Would you like to be a cat, a dog, or the guy who beat up Dave Grohl in the Pretender video? All right. Fantastic. We have a bailiff with us today, and this bailiff June, beat up Dave Grohl. Fantastic. You should be proud of yourself. There you go. GC in the chat says, hi, June, and there's your commercial plug for the day. Welcome aboard. What am I looking at? Do I need any one last thing here? No. Okay, fine. We're good. Test. Can everyone hear June? Hold on a sec. I think, bear with me one more moment. All right, we're going to take this out of the streaming channel and we're going to run back to the gaming channel. So bear with me a moment on that end. Everyone, please stand by. I mean, ultimately, you guys wouldn't even be seeing anything on your end, but that's fine. We're just doing some back room itemeries. Share your screen. I was testing out a new thing and it didn't quite work out as planned. All right. So let's... Can I get you out of there? Gonna grab my actual good mic in the meantime. Okay, so anyway, while Bailiff June is getting set up, we're gonna hopefully, I'm not certain how long Bailiff June will need, but we're going back to our usual. and I'll do some off stream setup later. I know you're all waiting to dive back into the game, so we'll have that set up very shortly for you as well. Where are we? There it is. There's that. I apologize, everybody. We'll be good in a moment. Ah, there we go. Yes, I see that's happening there. We'll be fine. And actually, I could probably get a Fugi going on in here, too. Oh, and I notice... Oh, I noticed something else too. Come join Crime Punishment. See if I can get some more bailiffs in here. Okay, and that's the last I'm gonna do on that. That's the last I'm gonna do on that. We're all just gonna run back into everything that's going on. Okay, we're back. Boom. Court is now in session, everybody. Your rating will be affected by how much and what kind of information you choose. Oh, June. Bailiff June, get in here. Everybody get in here. Oh, this is a good one. The crime is presidential assassination. And as always, we have house rules. Y'all are in for a good one. Another question, are you aware of how many cases exist in this game? Is it 200 to 2,000? Have you ever seen the same case repeated? I have seen so many of the same cases repeated. I really have. I'm hearing some noise. Hi, and I'm just going to plug you in Discord. Okay, can you say hi there, June?
It's June, and I'm here, and I swapped mics, so hopefully this is a little bit better. I hope.
It's not bad. Your original mic was better. This one seems to have a bit of a buzz.
Really? Okay, here, I'll change it real quick. Hold on.
Sure thing. Good, we've got June back in. And we're not going to be doing anything until she gets formally in. Yes, you are right, GC. This is a juicy case. My God, this is such a juicy case. This is so good. This is so good. There, now you're back.
Oh my God, you're right. This case, holy moly.
Okay, I'm going to turn translation Chan off so that everyone cannot be distracted by that. Okay, are you ready there, Bailiff June?
I'm as ready as I'm gonna be. Holy moly.
Let's hope the game doesn't crash. The crime is presidential assassination. This isn't even attempted assassination. This is
actual. Like, it happened.
That's right. Hey, GC, you here, June? That's great.
Woo, yay, I'm here.
All right. Let's look at the details of this case. And we're going to look at the demographics for this crime of presidential assassination. The offender is a 50-year-old black male. The victim was a 30-year-old white Jewish woman.
That was our president? I'm so jealous.
In 1984, of
I'm
this
very jealous.
alternate Earth green people society, yes, this was definitely a progressive American society. Those are American flags in the background, everybody. The offender is a 50-year-old male. The victim was a 38-year-old woman. And we always dive in a little deeper. We never issued the death penalty, but we always dive into every part of this case that we can. The offender-victim relationship for this 50-year-old male is defined by the crime. 50-year-old guy said, "I'm assassinating the president," and then somehow did that. And let's find out how he did it. Weapon used, physical injury. The 38-year-old president was her brains were blown out with a high-powered rifle. Oof.
He followed in the footsteps of the guy who assassinated JFK, I guess. Holy moly.
It's just wow. Is all I can say right now. Is just wow.
I don't know what else you would say besides wow.
Yeah. Although we have many details of this case to be revealed, and they could get interesting. Let's look at the property damage or loss. Aside from the death of a president, the property damage or loss was $59,000. Yes. A 1984 laser gavel society. you nailed it, GC. And the excuse given for this crime? This ought to be good. He did it for publicity.
Just publicity?
Just like John David Stutz. Yes, the 50-year-old said that he assassinated the president for publicity.
For the likes.
Yeah, 1984.
Did it for the meme.
Did it for the meme. That's so harsh.
Exactly.
The offender's criminal record. See, typically we get really funny ones. Like, okay, it's a presidential assassination, but ho, look at that thing. Ha ha, look at this thing. In this case right here, this is not really that funny yet. Let's look at the adult prior crime types. The offender has also committed white-collar crimes. The prior arrests and convictions are 4 recorded prior arrests, 2 recorded prior convictions.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the fugitive status on the day of the crime, he's AWOL. All right, so that puts a kind of a military spin on it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The offender's reputation, he's a stoolie.
Okay.
I don't think, he's 50 years old. Do we need a juvenile court blotter on this one?
Unless his well, I think like
we should.
if his yeah,
Yeah,
I mean he has previous history. I don't know what that previous history is or what age it was at, so maybe
it's presidential assassination is pretty much the highest crime you can have in this game. So I'm thinking we should really. The offender's juvenile offenses include threats to a teacher.
Well, I guess that tracks.
Yeah, I guess so.
Not very good with authority.
Yeah. Yep. You can't tell me what to do, whether it's my homework or taxes. All right.
Oh, God.
Pre-sentence report. This 50-year-old man, we're going to look at all of these. The personal details are he's separated, he's frequently intoxicated, and he's a college scholar. His employment history, he's a self-employed professional. This guy's so boring, he's milquetoast.
Self-employed professional of what?
Don't know.
Of what?
Don't know. Of killing presidents is of what?
Apparently, and defying authority.
Yeah. And the courtroom prosecution details. The defendant pleaded guilty. I mean, if they did it for publicity. Yeah. A mayoral candidate calls this a test case for the system? Not really.
I think it's just an obvious one, is it not?
Kind of cut and dry. I guess that guy's not getting in for mayor next term. We're going to look at the deeper items of the offender's upbringing. The offender had a happy home and was raised in suburbia. Oh, that's so nice.
He just does not like authority, I guess.
Really against
something
authority.
Ingrained in him. It was that teacher.
It really was. In his mental history, he has an above average IQ. Wow. Okay. This is like one of the most milquetoast cases I've ever seen. Other than the fact that the guy is AWOL and doesn't like authority, nothing really out of the ordinary is going on. Let's review the known facts. We really should. And by the way, for everyone watching, whether that be GC, whether that be Lucy, whether that be anyone, by all means, while we're reviewing the known facts, toss in your thoughts. In the crime of presidential assassination, the property damage or loss was $59,000. The offender-victim relationship is defined by the crime. The victim's brain was blown out with a high-powered rifle. The offender is a 50-year-old man. The victim was a 38-year-old woman. The offender said he did it for publicity. The offender is a stoolie and is AWOL. The offender has also committed white-collar crimes. The offender's juvenile offenses include threats to a teacher. He's had 4 recorded prior arrests and 2 recorded prior convictions. The defendant pleaded guilty. A mayoral candidate inexplicably calls this, of all things, a test case for the system. I think you're bowling out of your lane there, Mayor. The offender had a happy home and was raised in suburbia. The offender has an above-average IQ, although they are separated, frequently intoxicated, a college scholar, and a self-employed professional. Bailiff June, welcome to your first case of presidential assassination.
Oh boy, this is quite the way to start the night.
We never choose the death penalty because
no,
we met punishment in a different factor here. What are your thoughts, Bailiff June?
One of the things that I'm very curious about is, again, the property damage and loss of $59,000. How? Was there a ghillie suit bought? Like, why? What were the logistics of this? Because obviously there was a rifle.
Yes.
But and you need a fair amount of either good disguise or like some type of security breaking something to get into the White House or what have you, in order to even have access to seeing the president in a close enough range. Because like you can't be super, super far away. You have to be like, you got to see them.
Yeah. The
$59,000. I'm thinking there's a ghillie suit involved. This is the narrative that I'm building.
I like the narrative you're building because, you know, I don't have much of one myself.
I feel like everything else is pretty cut and dry though. Like this dude just killed the president, and that's it.
Yeah. As far as as far as $59,000, you're right. It could be a ghillie suit. He could have broken a window, a bulletproof window on a presidential vehicle.
Very expensive window.
$59,000 window. It could be
Rolls-Royce.
it could really be any number of things. I don't think this is prison or probation worthy. How many years of prison do you want to give this presidential assassin?
This is like one of the highest. This is probably the highest crime that you can do that we still allow to review. So, what's the highest that you've seen numbers wise again for prison?
Numbers wise, as for all the decades I have been playing this game, I don't recall ever seeing any case over 35 years of prison. With that said, I may have seen something around 40. I don't recall I've ever seen 50. And 35 does seem to be the upper hand. But in this case, not to sway your judgment, 35 is, I believe, the largest I've seen. You can go higher if you so care, or lower.
Considering the facts of it was a successful presidential assassination, there were $59,000 worth of property damage. There seems to be no rehabilitation, like in terms of this person does not have like any sort of mental disorder that would have caused this. It was very like well thought out, well planned. Gosh,
yeah, it's
there's no redeemable, like you can't really do anything at this point. There's no rehabilitation.
Right.
You killed the president.
All right. How many years? What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna say 35. If that's the highest number that you can
you can alter that.
This
you can make it 40. You can make it
years.
30. It's up to you.
No, I want to see what 35 does.
All right. I would give this 40 years, but I would not give it much more because literally nothing happened. In any other circumstance, this would be a simple murder, which also accrued $59,000. It just so happens this is presidential, and the person admitted guilt. They had motive, they had intent, they did it. I would give 40. I would actually give probably 20 to 25, but it's the president, which means I would give it easily 40. Okay. 35 is the upper that I've seen. If there was crazy amounts of extra things on here, I would jack it up to 50, 60, 75. I think I personally have entered in 85 years because I hated the entire case.
Holy moly.
And the judge gave 5 years of probation or whatever, so screw the judge. But
of course.
I would give 40 years. I respect your 35 years.
Pardon my French, but I don't care what this green fuck thinks in terms of what he thinks is reasonable. So I think it's also a good time to let you know that I am drinking a bottle of wine.
Oh, that's fine. I have water beside me. Water and wine. I don't see anything wrong.
You drink the water.
There we go.
The wine.
Hey, GC just chimed in. Having chosen to not pursue the death penalty, I'm curious if while playing this game in the past, have you seen the green judge issue the death penalty instead of prison? And if you choose the death penalty as a choice, that is an automatic bam, and you get whatever the judge also chose, which is typically the death penalty. If it involves murder, typically the judge says, yep, death penalty. In cases external to murder or death, the judge will issue his sentence and you just don't care. We never choose the death penalty, so that's kind of a moot question in that sense, GC. I don't know. Do you want to go 35 or 40 years? What do you think?
Let's see 40.
We're doing 40 years. We're doing 40 years with the other keys that aren't the numeric keypad, and let's see how he scored. Whew, 32 years, 9 months.
Oh, okay, not bad.
I still vouch for 40. Presidential assassination, I think it deserves 40 plus, but 32, and I saw max 35. Yeah, whatever. It was probably a 35-year sentence, and the judge lowered it by 2.5 years because it was such a milquetoast case. Anyway,
Yeah.
we didn't do bad. We've upped our ranking. Let's take a look.
We've done worse.
We've done much worse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, look at you. You received 8 gavels. You have a keen eye for justice.
Well, how lovely.
Gavels 8. And by the way, this is mostly on you, June. Bailiff June, you scored that one. So you got 8 gavels and a judicial IQ of 152. GC says, as it negatively impact your gavel count, and you receive a lopsided duck and almost symmetrical duck. We've never done the death penalty, so that's kind of an unknown. All right. Hey, by the way, you because I am streaming with your with a bailiff, do you want to just in Discord toss me your Fugi if you have it?
I can grab that, yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to set up the next case and make sure that it's not an insensitive one. Oh, that's kind of a sensitive one. I've never seen that. Forcible sodomy. So, yeah, that's,
I don't know about that one.
yeah, that's 99 years of prison, and we'll move on to the next. Great job, TC and June. Thank you so much, GC. And by the way, you're always welcome to join us on these cases. Yeah, that's another sensitive one. We're just getting all the sensitive ones. 99 years of prison. Kabam. There, we finally got one. Our next case is going to be the crime of criminal trespass.
Here, I am going to direct message you my Fugi.
I see a direct message my way, and I'm going to take this copy text. And I'm going to head over to OBS. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. I'm going to add. What am I even going to add here?
Add it as a browser?
Let me just yeah, they're all browsers. Yep, I'm looking at my previous ones, and they're all browsers. So.
Hello, Kate. Welcome in.
Oh, are you? We've got another bailiff.
Hi, Tethercat.
Greetings. Welcome aboard, Bailiff Kate. I'm just creating a Discord June Fugi, which is a thing that exists.
Oh, should I clarify that we are not in streaming chat, however we are streaming?
Absolutely. We are not in streaming cat. Sorry, June, you talk. I'm doing this.
You're asking the drunk girl to talk. It's fine. Kate, for comfort level reasons, we are in general gaming because we were doing some fixing stuff, but we are live, just so you know. We are on YouTube.
Okay, good to know.
Excellent.
Okay.
And the second question, Bailiff Kate, welcome aboard, is what do you want to be? Do you want to be a dog? Do you want to be a cat? Do you want to be the guy who beat up Dave Grohl in the Pretenders video?
Wow, what a dilemma to be faced with.
It sincerely is.
With cat.
All right, we got a Bailiff Cat happening. Fantastic. Let's toss aside the Pretenders guy. So now we've got Bailiff June. Once again, say hi, Bailiff June.
Hello, I'm here.
All right, and say hi, Bailiff Kate.
Greetings.
Excellent. Good stuff, everybody. And I'm just going to toss that there. All right, we're good. Both of you, are you good for the next case?
I'm ready.
Bring it on.
And if you are able to take a look at the YouTube chat room, GC is watching and says, I absolutely love how TC's voice actions are so on time with his voice. Freaking brilliant. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I got it pulled up on my phone, so I have it off to the side the way that I normally stream.
Fantastic. Welcome aboard, Bailiff Kate. Welcome aboard, Bailiff June. Our crime is crime of criminal trespass.
Okay.
All right. And let's look at the details of this crime. We're going to look at the demographics. The offender is a 32-year-old white Catholic male. The victims are the state and the people. The offender-victim relationship. GC loves the tech that's going on. Society is the victim. The weapon used and physical injury. There was none. Property damage or loss. There was none. So in the crime of criminal trespass, nothing happened. And the excuse given for this crime? He said he did it for the publicity.
Oh, this is a what's his face? Oh God, what's his name? The dude that does all the videos for money and like he gives his friends a bunch of money to do stupid stuff.
Jackass?
Mr. Beast.
Oh.
No. Yes, also Jackass. No, this is the plot of a Mr. Beast video. Just a bunch of people show up where they're not supposed to be, and the property owner's like, "Get away! Leave! Get out of here!"
I've never seen Mr. Beast.
Maybe that's for the best.
Yeah.
I've never personally watched one of his videos either.
But I can say that he sounds like a jackass.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. Let's look at the offender's criminal record. So nothing happened on criminal trespass, and he said he did it for the yucks. The offender's criminal record are that he adult prior crime types, specific crime type information is unavailable. And once again, that's always a red flag that the game will crash. It doesn't always, but it's a red flag. Prior arrests and convictions, none, clean as a whistle.
Okay.
Fugitive status. On the day of the crime, the offender left an alcohol detoxification program.
Oh, so he just drunk stumbled into somebody's yard and they told him to get lost.
Kind of sounds like it.
That's what I'm hearing here.
Kate, any thoughts on that?
Not so far. Doesn't sound like much of a crime, though.
I fully agree.
You should have been here for last round.
Let's look at the offender's reputation here. The offender is also known as the Brain.
I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't
Does
know
he
about
have an
that one.
associate named Pinky?
What was that, Kate?
Pinky!
Pinky. Yes?
I would totally let him off the hook if he had an associate named Pinky.
They know the Warner family. They're very close.
Oh, are you talking about the Warner Brothers?
Yeah. And the little sister.
There you go. Waiting for someone to do that. Okay. Let's look at the pre-sentence report for Brain here. Personal details are that the offender is married by common law, drinks moderately, and is a parochial school graduate. For those who are following along, parochial school is being a person of the cloth. They are attending a religious school on the grounds that they will become a religious mentor of such.
And he was in an alcohol detoxification program that he left?
I don't know. You're the one drinking the wine. You tell me.
I don't need you to call me out like this. Maybe I need to go into the detoxification program.
The employment history of this gentleman is that he's a white-collar worker.
Okay.
And the courtroom prosecution details are the jury recommends a stiff sentence. The defendant was defended by a public defender.
Well, what's with the jury? They don't like this guy?
And they don't like criminal trespassing, I can only assume.
But nothing happened. There was no damage. Nobody hurt. Nothing. Nothing happened.
Bailiff June, Bailiff Kate, GC. Let's review the known facts.
Oh boy.
GC says, I watched a Mr. Beast video where he supplied something like 100 kids in need of cochlear implants with the surgery and paid for all of the medical expenses. Yeah.
Oh, I have thoughts on that, and I'm drunk and I shouldn't say them. Let's get through the case first.
Let's get through the case first. In the crime of criminal trespass, there was no monetary loss. Society is the victim. There was no personal injury. The offender is a 32-year-old white Catholic male. The victims are the state and the people. The offender said he did it for publicity. The offender left an alcohol detoxification program. The offender is also known as the Brain. Specific crime type information is unavailable. There's been no recorded priors or arrests. The jury recommends a stiff sentence. The defendant was defended by a public defender. The offender is married by common law, drinks moderately, and is a parochial school graduate. The offender is a white-collar worker. Bailiff Kate, since you're hopping on this bus, we'll have you score this one. What are your thoughts?
Even probation sounds slightly harsh. But since we have to pick something, I would say either 2 or 3 months of probation.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's cap you at 3 months of probation. Let's run with that. And now let's turn to the peanut gallery. We're going to look at June. We're going to look at GC in the chat, and I'll provide my thoughts later. Bailiff June.
I agree with Kate full-heartedly. Again, I think this guy's just funny, and nothing happened, like, in terms of property damage or monetary loss, or nobody got hurt, like, and he said that he just did it for publicity. This dude is a priest. Maybe don't leave your alcohol detoxification program if you're supposed to finish it, Mr. Married Priest Man, but, since you didn't hurt anybody and there was no damage at all, and you just, you ended up somewhere where you weren't supposed to be, I will forgive you on this. Just you're gonna have somebody hanging out with you for like a month or two. It's okay.
All right. So, and with that, you agreed with Bailiff Kate, I believe.
Yes.
All right. And I'm just looking at the chat, and Bailiff GC in chat says, yes, it could be seen as a gross self-promotion. I think they're referring to the Mr. Beast, which was actually an impressive use of money made from his YouTube followers. I think that this case of criminal trespass could be seen as a gross self-promotion.
Come join our church! Join the church! We have wine! Join the church!
Give this guy a high five and 1 year of probation.
The parole officer is either going to become very religious or have to deal with some trauma afterwards.
Yeah, that's about right. I'm on board with all y'all. Both 3 months of probation, 1 year of probation. I'm impartial. I'm willing to sway with the majority. So let's run with 3 months of probation and see what we got. Bailiff Kate, get ready. Brace yourself.
Oh no.
Huh. 8.5 years of probation.
8 years of probation. This man didn't even do anything. What? Wild.
We're not going to get many gavels, are we?
We got a lot of gavels the last round, and that's all.
All right. Bailiff Kate, I'm still on your side. I think that I think you scored it correctly, and screw this alternate Earth green Judge Wapner lookalike.
He did it for the funnies. Just give him a slap on the wrist. Come on.
Okay, let's take a look at our score here. Surprise, surprise, we got 1 gavel. Perhaps we should study medicine.
I hate this motherfucker so much. You gotta be kidding me.
Clearly, law is too hard. We should do something easy like medicine.
Drugs. Do drugs.
No.
I'm doing drugs right now.
No, you're doing wine. And you know what?
Alcohol. Alcohol is a drug.
I suppose so. All right, everybody, let's run off with the next case. You know what? All of us, and as to my detriment, this does include yourself, Veil of June. Let's all have a quick hydration check.
Okay.
Doot.
I always have super, super ice cold water next to me at all times, so.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
But I'd rather be drinking the wine.
That's all right. GC says, good night, everyone. Thanks for hosting TC. Well, you know what? It's always good having people watch the chat and participate. So thanks for showing up, and you take care and you have yourself a good day.
Have a good night, GC!
And with that, we're going to hop into the next case. Remember, it is how much and what kind of information that is important. Ooh! The defendant is to be sentenced for the crime of terroristic threatening.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, now we got something fun.
That we do.
Should we tell Kate what she missed?
You do that, I'm typing.
Presidential assassination. Like, a successful one.
Ooh.
And we almost
What
got a
was your
symmetrical
verdict?
duck. We were so close to a symmetrical duck.
We did 40 years. The actual sentence was 32 and a half?
That's right. And we were humming and hawing over the 35 years, which probably would have got us the symmetrical duck. Either way, we still did good. Looking back on the chat, we got 8 gavels off the thing. And that was pretty much Bailiff June's go at it. So good for her.
Thank you.
At any rate, we're both of us, all 3 of us, we're all doing the crime of terroristic threatening. And we're going to take a look at these get fun. The details of this, come on, work with me here. The details of this crime are the demographics. The offender was a 25-year-old white male. The victim was a 17-year-old white girl. Terroristic threatening.
Terroristic threatening to one person?
The offender-victim relationship, they were family members.
Terrorism? Now hold on.
Okay, we're holding on.
What? How do you commit terroristic threatening upon a family member? Terrorism? I guess we're gonna find out.
That's how it goes. Yes. The weapon used. This is where we find out. Like in these cases, these 5 are instrumental. The weapon used physical injury. The victim has become unusually fearful. Doesn't say how. That's just the result. She's become unusually fearful. Oh, I just heard a bloop on someone's end. It might have even been mine. The property damage or loss, there was none. And the excuse given for this crime, the 25-year-old man said he was upset at his child's death.
How does that involve another family member, though?
Oh, I see. We've got Stormy happening in the background here.
Oh, hi, Stormy.
Hello.
Stormy, you should know right away that we are live on YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
There you go. And so we've got with us Bailiff Kate and Bailiff June. And if you're able to, by all means, please watch the video in the stream. Sorry, I got all distracted. I was pulling in some technical stuff on the back end. All right. Really briefly, I'm actually just going to run into review the known facts just so that we're all up and up on terroristic threatening. There has been no monetary loss. The offender and the victim were family members. The victim has become unusually fearful. The offender is a 25-year-old man. The victim is his 17-year-old sister, I assume. The offender said he was upset at his child's death. All right, now we're back into it.
Okay.
The offender's criminal record, we're going to look at that. And we're going to look at adult prior crime types for this 25-year-old man. They include political offenses.
Okay.
The prior arrests and convictions include 2 recorded prior arrests, 1 recorded prior conviction. And the fugitive status on the day of the crime, the offender was on probation.
He was on probation and he did that.
Mm.
The parole officer must have been like, yo!
And we're going to look at the offender's reputation. The offender is also known as the Doc. Very interesting.
Okay.
The pre-sentence report here is that there were, let's see, personal details. This 25-year-old man is married, pops pills, and is a college freshman. His employment history is that he was fired for laziness.
Okay. Okay.
The courtroom Sorry, what's that, Bailiff Kate? Or Bailiff Stormy?
And his kid died?
Yeah. Yeah. The defendant squealed on his accomplices in terrorizing his sister.
Accomplices?
Mm.
The probation office?
Perhaps. The press was excluded from the courtroom. Since this does involve siblings, I want to take a look at offenders' upbringing.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know for sure they're siblings.
Yeah, you're right. They are family members. He's 25 and she's 17, so they could be anything. You're absolutely correct. Yep, you're absolutely right. Let's look at the offender's upbringing. What was that, Stormy?
They could be kissing cousins.
No, Sweet Home Alabama, please. Please, no.
All right, let's look at the offender's upbringing. This 25-year-old man, the offender's mother axe murdered his father. And the offender was raised on a ranch in California.
It was Ram Ranch again.
Ram Ranch.
Oh my god.
Well, there you go, everybody.
Case closed.
Question.
Did you just say it's the age-old question there, Stormy?
No, let me ask you a question. Right in between.
That's cute. All right. Shall we all review the known facts?
How much more reviewing do we need?
Yes, please.
Okay. In the crime of terroristic threatening, there was no monetary loss. The offender and the victim were family members. The victim, and by the way, thank you, Bailiff Kate, for pointing that specificity out. The victim has become unusually fearful. The offender is a 25-year-old male. The victim was a 17-year-old girl. The offender said he was upset at his child's death. The offender was on probation. The offender is also known as the Doc. Prior crimes include political offenses. There have been 2 recorded prior arrests, 1 recorded prior conviction. The defendant squealed on his accomplices. The press was excluded from the courtroom. The offender's mother was axe murdered. No, the offender's mother axe murdered his father. And the offender was raised on a ranch in California. The offender is married, pops pills, is a college freshman, and was fired for laziness. And there all of you go. I leave it to either Bailiff Stormy or myself to score this one. Any thoughts on who should score?
No, I think either one of you is a good pick for this one. I'll let you guys deal with this one.
I say Kate can do it. Yeah.
Well, there you go. You got to vote for Bailiff Kate. Bailiff Kate.
We'll see. Because I did the last one, I think I nominate Tethercat.
There we go. All right. I'll deal with this one. All right. Terroristic threatening. Let's take a look here. That's definitely not probation worthy. The victim has become unusually fearful. I feel bad about the death of his child, but on the other hand, don't go threatening anyone and don't go terroristic threatening with everyone. So with that said, I would be willing to say 2 years of prison. I mean, that might seem heavy-handed, and if I were to do jail, it would be upwards of 5+, but I honestly think 2 years of prison would get him in, get him rehabilitated, and get him out. That's what I would call.
I think it is the more appropriate option because A, it is a lot stricter, yes, but it is a lot faster, and B, because she is now like unusually fearful, and looking at his past, you know what? I'd rather him just get into the system, figure out whatever he needs to figure out to not act like that, and get out.
Mm-hmm. Bailiff Kate?
It's hard to know how to score this without knowing exactly what he said and how he threatened. Generally, I'm more of a bleeding heart liberal and probably would have gone for less than that, but I'll go along with your recommendation.
All right, and Bailiff Stormy.
I actually would give him more time.
Ooh, more prison time. What's your justification for that?
It would give her some sense of security.
All right.
Let her become an adult before he's out.
Oh, so that's a genuine...
She's 17, so that's only a few years.
Yes, you're absolutely right. She is a minor.
So have him stay in there until she's 21. That's 4 years.
All right, so we've got a bid here from Bailiff Stormy that it should be upped from 2 years of prison to 4 years of prison. And Bailiff June and Bailiff Kate, what are your thoughts?
I would say that's a bit harsh. I would stick with 2 years.
Okay, Bailiff Kate says stick with 2 years. Bailiff June?
I would say, with keeping in mind what Stormy has shared, maybe do 2 years and like a couple extra months tacked on, like maybe 4 months.
All right.
Or do 2.5 years?
2.5 years?
All right.
Yeah, 2 years, 6 months.
I would agree with June and Stormy on this one. I hadn't actually considered the fact that she was a minor, which absolutely does factor in, and having him in the system for just that extra bit of time would definitely allow for not just more rehabilitation, if that's the case, but also to allow her to make some choices as an adult. I think that's a astute observation, Stormy. Let's take a look.
Oh boy.
Here we go, everybody. It crashed. House rules are Stormy gets the number right.
Yeah!
Yay! 10 gowls the whole way.
There you go. Sorry about that. Now I'm going to do some back end stuff here to get it all up and running again. Please talk amongst yourselves. I'm glad that you guys are here, are happening. And Bailiff Stormy, what would you like your bailiff icon to be? Actually, I've already got one pulled up for you. Hold on a sec. I've already got your...
Yeah, I was going to say, you have one for me.
That's right. I have Bailiff. I made one for Bailiff Stormy a little while ago. And so now we've got Bailiff June, Bailiff Kate, and Bailiff Stormy. All right, so I got to type in here gavels. You guys can talk amongst yourselves at this point. Gavels.
We'll be the bailiffs to keep the defendant from jumping over and going for Tethercat.
Yeah, for the most part. Did you see that video of that guy who, he was, like, getting charged for aggravated assault and, like, he was sentenced prison time and he got really mad, so he jumped at the judge and then he got, like, even more prison time and then they brought him in again and he was wearing a muzzle?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that happened.
They made him go Hannibal Lecter. He was wearing the mask and everything. Oh, he bit the judge.
Wait, he bit her?
Yeah. He didn't just slam her head against the wall. He bit her.
I thought he just threw a punch. Oh my god.
Oh, he threw punches. He slammed her head against the wall and bit her arm.
Well, he's not getting any Lex time.
He had to go back in for the damage that he did for the previous time.
That's wild.
I haven't seen what you're talking about.
I will have to find that video for you then.
I don't know that I want to see this video.
Well, it's just there was a clipped version where it was just the lunge that he did to like get up there, and I think that part's funny because it's like, holy moly, he like human spring.
So it was kind of like that Buster Keaton video when he jumped out the window. Right?
Buster
All right, everybody, we're back into the game. And I'm just going to hop over and enable sound. Oop, we have sound. Okay, everybody, court is now in session. Are y'all ready?
I'm as ready as
Ready
I'm
as
gonna
I'll ever
be.
be.
Yeah!
Yes.
Well, we've got 2 bailiffs in sync. That's good. That's a good sign. Court is now in session. Your rating will be affected by how much and what kind of information you choose. The crime is unlawful imprisonment. Okay. And let's take a look at the details of this crime. We're going to look at the demographics. The offender is a 55-year-old white male. The victim was a 23-year-old black woman. The offender-victim relationship. The offender and victim were friends. Aw.
Not anymore.
Friends who imprison each other?
I was just going to say that. They're not friends anymore.
The weapon used physical injury. The victim suffers frequent anxiety attacks. And the property damage or loss was $590. That's interesting. It was like
So, knowing this Green Judge Wapner dude, it's going to be like 10 years hard time.
Yes. The excuse given for this crime of unlawful imprisonment, the reason said, the offender said the reason was political. I mean, I guess.
Oh no! How dare she go and vote? Their women aren't allowed to vote.
You know what? I don't know enough about the case, and let's run with that. We're going to look at the offender's criminal record, and the adult prior crime types are unavailable. Once again, that's a red flag of crashing, but we're just going to run with that. Prior arrests and convictions. 1 recorded prior arrest, no recorded prior convictions. Fugitive status on the day of the crime. The offender was released on his own recognizance. The offender's reputation. He is a sexual aberrant.
He's a what now?
He is a sexual aberrant. And allow me just to quickly pull up the dictionary for aberrant.
Departing from an accepted standard. So deviant, divergent. But wait, was that reputation?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's not like it's not a crime. Just needed to make sure.
In 1984, who knows? Let's look at the pre-sentence report for this. We're going to look at the personal details for this 50-year-old guy. He's recently divorced. He drinks socially, and he is a parochial school graduate. His employment history is that he can't hold down a job.
He went through all that parochial school and he can't. Nobody wants him as a priest.
Aw.
Can't find a good church.
There's just no good
Maybe
churches these days.
He can hold down the fort for that other guy who's on probation for 8 years.
There you go. The courtroom prosecution details here. The defendant says, "I'm sorry." 60 Minutes demands an interview.
I mean, he apologized.
Everyone, you want to review the known facts on this one?
I think the apology only gets like heaven points, but not anything else, right?
Ooh, heaven points.
I don't even think it gets 7 points.
No, I don't think so either. You're right.
It doesn't sound sincere.
Okay, let's review the known facts. And we'll see what his level of sincerity is. In the crime of unlawful imprisonment, the property damage or loss was $590. The offender were victims. Wait, what? No.
The offender were victims. Yes.
Tethercat,
Are you drinking wine or am I?
Tethercat is reading ahead of the script. The offender and the victim were friends. The victim suffers frequent anxiety attacks. The offender is a 55-year-old man. The victim was a 23-year-old woman. The offender said the reason was political. The offender was released on his own recognizance. The offender is sexually aberrant. Although there's been no specific crime type of information available, he has had one recorded prior arrest. The defendant says, "I'm sorry." 60 Minutes demands an interview. The offender is recently divorced, drinks socially, is a parochial school graduate, and cannot hold down a job. Okay, raise your hands. Who wants to do this one?
Me, I want to go.
Well, there you go. Bail of June. What are your thoughts?
Okay, I just want to clarify. When they say unlawful imprisonment, what do they mean by that?
Excellent question. Let's pull it up.
Because when I hear it, my first thought is, oh crap, we got the wrong guy.
False imprisonment or unlawful imprisonment occurs when a person intentionally restricts another person's movement within any area without legal authority, justification, or the restrained person's permission. Actual physical restraint is not necessary for false imprisonment to occur.
Get back in that kitchen, make me a sandwich.
No!
Under
Okay,
the eyes of the law,
gives
that
me-
technically is correct.
This gives me a different perspective than because I thought it was, oh shit, we arrested this 23-year-old woman when we should have arrested this 55-year-old guy because one of them did a crime and then this dude framed this girl. Okay, this is different. I can figure this out. So this dude basically said, hey, if I see you in your car and you go anywhere further than that stoplight over there and this stoplight over here, and you leave township area, you'll regret it, young lady. Like that kind.
Quite
Or
possibly.
straight up, if you leave this house, like you're gonna be in trouble.
One of my interpretations, and again, these are just interpretations, was that the offender had a cage in the basement and actually unlawfully imprisoned someone. It's the restriction of movement unlawfully. So it could be any number of things. All we know is that there was $590 involved.
I mean, it did state sexually aberrant. So if there's a cage in the basement, that probably isn't too far off.
So is this prison, jail, or probation worthy, bailiff June?
She has frequent anxiety attacks.
Mhm.
There was he has been arrested previously for apparently political reasons. Hmm. I'm between either a longer jail sentence or a shorter prison sentence. If we're going with the narrative that this dude had a cage in his basement, he couldn't hold down a job because he was too busy let's say fostering this poor woman. We're gonna go prison time, and I'll say what? 4 years?
All right, we got an opening bid of 4 years of prison. Bailiff Kate, what are your thoughts?
I think that sounds pretty reasonable.
There you go. Bailiff Stormy.
I'm gonna be the devil's advocate again.
Oh, all right.
I'm gonna go for probation.
Ooh.
And the reason why is he was released on OR.
All right.
Cognizant. In other words, the police don't even have enough to hold him in jail.
Hmm. You got so you're gonna go probation. How many years, months are you thinking?
I still go with the if you do probation by increments of months. I don't know if it's by increments of months or increments of years and months.
It's years and months for probation.
Okay, then I would, like the others, go for 4 years of probation.
Okay. I'll pitch in that I hadn't actually considered that recognizance issue, and Bailiff Story once again brings up a very valid point. But I would actually go, I would say 2 years of jail. It's a little harsher than probation. It's a lot less than prison. And just because really, and I don't mean to take this lightly, but nothing happened. So there was unlawful imprisonment. The victim does suffer frequent anxiety attacks. As Bailiff Stormy said, released on his own recognizance, and there was just $590. It seems incredibly minor. So I would say 2 years of jail. Now, with that said, we've got an entire gamut of selections here.
Shit.
But Bailiff June did say 4 years of prison. Are you still willing to hold by that?
No, because of the whole, I forgot about the whole recognizance thing. I'm okay going down to jail. I still want it to be slightly more than 2 years. I would probably say at least 3.
All right.
For the sake of the young woman in question, 3 years jail.
I agree.
Okay. Bailiff Kate, you were agreeing with 4 years of prison. What are your thoughts now?
I kind of feel 3 years of jail is light, but it's June's choice, and I seem to be outnumbered, so we'll go with the consensus.
All right. Just remember, Bailiff Kate, that no matter how outnumbered you are here, it doesn't matter, because this guy's going to either do 15 years of prison or 1 month of probation, so it doesn't really matter. All right, everybody, we've made our choice. Let's take a look.
I'm going to be so angry.
2 years of prison.
Damn it! Damn it! Come on! Come on!
Not bad. It was a good conversation, everybody. Really, it was. Let's find out what our score is. 6 gavels. A very respectable score. With hard work, you may make it to the high court someday.
mechanics is not the worst.
We got out of the kangaroo court! Yay!
And our judicial IQ has been raised to 112. Fantastic, everybody. All right. And we're 20 minutes past the hour, but we're still doing good. I'm going strong, and I don't know about all you, but I'm ready for more.
I'll go another round. Yeah, why not?
Excellent. Now it's time for our next case. Everybody remember, it is how much and what kind of information that is important. The defendant is to be sentenced for the crime of unlawful business practice.
Uh-oh, nail salon got busted.
Sounds rather vague.
It's
Either
the
that or it
local
was
hot dog cart again, isn't it?
Either that or it was Lucky the prostitute.
No, but then that would be prostitution!
All
Give me
right.
a good prostitution case again.
Yeah. Come on, game. Hand us a good prostitution case again. Okay. In the crime of unlawful business practice, let's take a look at the details. The demographics are: the offender is a 58-year-old white Catholic woman. The victims are the state and the people. The offender-victim relationship: any victims were a mere statistic in the offender's eyes. The weapon used in physical injury: a falsified test result on auto brakes caused thousands of accidents.
Running a bad mechanic shop?
What was that, Bailiff Stormy?
That's serious. Damn.
It is serious, yes. That being the case, we're either going to get something really light or really heavy. So hold on to your arm rests, and we're going to take a property damage or loss, $26,000.
That's a lot of cars.
Hang 'em high.
This 58-year-old woman, Stormy's already made her judgment. All right, let's take a look at the excuse given for this crime. The offender said she thought she could get rich.
What was she was doing, like discounted brake check? Like what?
She falsified.
No. I bet you it was cars that couldn't pass, and she was forging the document.
A falsified test result on auto brakes caused thousands of accidents. So this wouldn't have been at the DMV. This would have been at the manufacturer. She would have been working for the manufacturer, and they're doing their checklist. And when it came to the auto brake section, she just said yes.
She was sleeping on the job.
Like what happened with Volkswagen.
Wait, that's a thing that happened with Volkswagen? Oh shit.
It kind of was. It involved emissions test and the falsification of emissions test with Volkswagen.
Oh.
All right, let's look at the excuse given for the crime. She thought she could get rich. And how much was that again? That was $26,000. She didn't think she'd get rich off $26,000. She thought she'd get rich somehow, and it caused $26,000 worth of property damage or loss. Okay, let's look at the
But it
criminal.
sounds like it
What's that?
didn't hurt anyone. Like there were accidents, but nobody got hurt.
That's right. That's correct. It caused thousands of accidents, and for $26,000 worth of property damage or loss, that might have been $1,000 or $2,000 per vehicle. Who knows, right?
Yeah, they don't get into the specifics of that.
All right, but yeah. It doesn't seem like it went any more severe, such as death or anything, injury, than accidents, just that the cars were involved with accidents. Still, that's pretty harsh. That's pretty major. Okay, let's look at the offender's criminal record. This 58-year-old woman. Adult prior crime types. Specific crime type of information is unavailable. Prior arrests and convictions? None. Clean as a whistle.
Okay.
Fugitive status on the day of the crime. The offender left an alcohol detoxification program.
She was sleeping on the job. She had one too many rum and cokes.
The offender's reputation. She's also known as the mechanic.
She is the mechanic. It's planned.
Uh-huh. And let's look at the pre-sentence report. We're going to look at the personal details. This 58-year-old woman is separated. She smokes hashish, and she is a seminarian.
Judge Tethercat says guilty.
That was very quietly muted in the background. That was Bailiff Terry, and I'm just going to go in and pump up your user volume. Can you say a couple of words there, Bailiff Terry?
Guilty.
All right. That's as loud as you're going there, Bailiff Terry. Don't shout into the mic like you usually do. All right. Let's so the 58-year-old is separated. She smokes hashish and she is a seminarian. The employment history is that she is a white-collar worker. And the courtroom prosecution details the probation officer recommends leniency. A TV reporter predicts you will imprison the defendant. Everybody, oh, and by the way, Bailiff Terry, we are recording on YouTube, so we are live streaming this. Okay, so just be aware of that. So does anyone wish to see anything further, such as the offender's upbringing or mental history?
I don't.
Mental history.
Okay, Bailiff Stormy wants to see mental history. The offender has an above average IQ.
She the mechanic. She does. It's good for her.
All right, shall we look at the known facts, everybody?
Yeah, I think so.
In the crime of unlawful business practice, property damage or loss was $26,000. Any victims were a mere statistic in the offender's eyes. By the way, I just want to point something out here. We're only at the start. I just want to point something out. The crime here on this clipboard is unlawful business practice. And although we've seen an entire gamut of information, the very first thing, out of chronological order, the very first thing listed on this clipboard is that the property damage or loss was $26,000, as if that were the biggest piece of information that should be highlighted. I'm just pointing that out. I couldn't quite hear you on that one, Bailiff Terry, but that's, we're going to run through this clipboard, okay? The property damage or loss was $26,000. Any victims were a mere statistic in the offender's eyes. A falsified test result on auto brakes caused thousands of accidents. The offender is a 58-year-old woman. The victims are the state and the people. The offender said she thought she could get rich. The offender left an alcohol detoxification program. The offender is also known as the mechanic. Specific crime type of information is unavailable, but she has a clean recorded prior record. The probation officer recommends leniency. A TV reporter predicts you, the player, will imprison the defendant. The offender has an above average IQ. The offender is separated, smokes hashish, and is a seminarian as well. She is a white-collar worker. Okay, who wants to score this one? Bailiff Terry, you're not in this one. Everyone else is fair game?
Of course.
No, it's because you get the next. Anyway, everyone?
I do.
All right, Bailiff Stormy. What are your thoughts?
Prison.
All right, we got a bid for prison. And how many years and months?
Let's see. I mean, she caused. Yes, it was only 28,000 in 1984 money, but she caused thousands of people to go through stress of probably getting fender benders. You know, because the brakes went out or something.
Right.
I say 2 years.
Okay. Bailiff Stormy says 2 years of prison. Let's go to Bailiff Kate. Bailiff Kate, what are your thoughts on that?
My initial thought was 5 years of jail, but I like Stormy's suggestion, just the fact that there were thousands of accidents. So yeah, 2 years of prison sounds fair.
All right. Bailiff June.
I do agree that because of the number of accidents as well as the amount of damage that was caused does kind of lean towards prison time. I think the only reason I'm hesitating to put an exact amount of prison time is because she doesn't really have a previous record. If I had to paint a picture as to what I imagine going on here, it said she was a white collar worker. So I imagine she does, yes, work at the manufacturing plant, and one of the fellas came up and was like, "Hey boss, is this okay? Is this okay, boss? It's kind of wonky." But she's like, "You know what, just pass it. I need to get a better position in this place. As long as you guys are getting the job done, whatever, it looks fine to me. I have a mechanic like certification. It looks fine. I don't care." And that's negligent and obviously hurt lots of people. So I am okay with the 2 years prison time.
All right. I'm actually okay with 2 years of prison as well. And for every reason that all of you just stated. Bailiff Terry, you hopped in. What are your thoughts?
Nothing at this point in time.
Fair enough. Get ready because you'll be doing the next one. Let's take a look at how we scored, everybody. Ooh, jail for a year and a month.
What? Interesting.
I don't know the reasoning behind this green judge's ideas, but that's what he judged.
Interesting.
All right, everybody, let's... What's that, Stormy?
For a case that it's only $560, you know, you get 5 years in prison, and this one was thousands of dollars. He only gets a year in jail.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Yeah. That's the way the ball rolls.
The judge smokes hashish and rules the case.
Perhaps. All right, let's take a look at our score, everybody. We got 5 gavels on that one. So, congratulations, everyone.
That's more than I thought it would be.
Absolutely. In our judicial IQ. Okay, so here's the thing, is that we're going to get Bailiff Terry in here for the next one. And I'm going to get an icon, so we have Bailiff Terry back in the mix as well. But while we set up for our next case, Bailiff Terry, I need you to somehow get louder. So if you can either put the microphone closer to your mouth or...
I turned up my preamps. So...
All right, because...
I think last time it was your noise suppression that kind of killed your volume.
Let me see if I got it on. No, actually, I have it off.
Oh.
Now I have it on.
There, you sound good now.
That made it better. I don't understand.
Yeah, good old Discord.
All right.
Thanks, Discord.
Thanks, Discord. All right, so now we got Bailiff Terry kicking in there. And I am going to really quickly add in the Bailiff Terry image. There we go. There he is.
I'm going to bow out. Good night, everybody, and happy judging.
All right.
Good night.
Thanks a lot for showing up, Bailiff Kate. We got to take Bailiff Kate and we can just, didn't work in my favor. And then we can put in Bailiff Terry and we'll bring him over here. All right. And we're good for the next round. How's everyone feeling?
Hey, everybody. I'm Dr. Oh, sorry. Wrong one.
All right.
Come on, Wiener Schnitzels.
This is Dr. Scratch and Sniff. What happened?
All right, you playful kids. Now it's time for our next case. Remember, it is how much and what kind of information that is important. Bailiff Terry, you're going to be the one scoring this. Oh,
Aye, aye, Captain.
we're not-
Nope,
yep.
nope, nope, nope. Not
Too
that one. We're not doing that
sensitive.
one.
So we're going to hop to the next one. There we go. This case is the crime of burglary of a dwelling. Crime of burglary of a dwelling. That's right. Now we'll see if the offender is singing his songs in prison too. Let's look at the details of this crime. The demographics are that the offender is a 59-year-old Caucasian male. The victim was a 38-year-old Hispanic Catholic male. The offender-victim relationship, they were neighbors. The weapon used in physical injury was none. Property damage or loss was $1,865.
He stole like a nice TV, I guess.
1984? Yeah, that would have been a nice TV. Yeah. And let's look at the excuse given for this crime. And he said that he needed money for a friend's sex change operation.
Interesting reasoning.
I suppose these things happen. I mean,
Yeah, let me go steal my neighbor's TV so that you can afford testosterone. Yes, of course.
I'm sorry, I really need to steal your riding lawnmower because my friend needs a sex change.
Yes.
let's look at the offender-victim relationship. Oh, wait, we did that, neighbors. What's that, Stormy?
It would have been more relevant if he stole the neighbor's Nintendo Switch.
In 1984?
In 1984. No.
The Nintendo Entertainment System came out in 1986. Don't ask me how I know that. All right, let's look at the offender's criminal record. And we're going to look at adult prior crime types. Prior crimes include robberies. Well,
This dude be stealing TV. What? A new neighbor moves in every couple years. He's like, well, time-honored tradition.
hey, pal, good to see you. Here's your key. Wait, no. How do you know what my house key is? Don't worry about the small details. See you around.
Welcome to the
Oh,
neighborhood.
I happen to notice you have an Intellivision game console.
In television.
Wow, that looks shiny and brand new.
It's wood paneled. It's 1984. All right, let's look at
Got all the games for it.
what's that, Stormy?
It's an Atari.
Yeah, 1982. Let's look at the prior arrests and convictions. And although this gentleman has had a history of robberies, he has 2 recorded prior arrests and 1 recorded prior conviction.
Everybody knows this dude for stealing fucking TVs.
We're going to find out during reputation. Let's look at the fugitive status on the day of the crime. He was on probation for stealing TVs.
Best Buy's worst nightmare.
We got another return, do we?
Radio Shack would be
Oh, yeah, Radio Shack, totally.
Oh, go Radio Shack.
All right, let's look at the offender's reputation. The offender is a common thug. Really? Really?
59-year-old common thug.
All right, let's look at the pre-sentence report on this one. And we're going to take a look at the personal details. The offender is engaged to be married. Congratulations. Stays as sober as a judge and is a self-taught person.
This 59-year-old man must be ripped as hell. If his current, if people know him as a thug, he be stealing TVs?
Let's look at his employment history. He's a scientist.
What?
He blinded him with science. Science.
Science!
Science, bitches!
Oh my
Okay.
Chemistry in motion.
Well done. All right, let's look at the courtroom prosecution details. The jury recommends, it went to a jury. It recommends leniency and the press was excluded from the courtroom. There you go, everybody. Does anyone want to see anything else?
It's just Tom, TV, Steele, and Jerry.
Ooh.
Like, what? Oh my god.
And just do the summary, I guess.
All right, we're going to review the known facts. The crime is burglary of a dwelling. The property damage or loss was $1,865. The offender and victim were neighbors. There was no personal injury. The offender is a 59-year-old man. The victim was a 38-year-old man. The offender said he needed money for a friend's sex change operation. The offender was on probation. The offender is a common thug. Prior crimes include robberies. Recorded priors are 2 arrests and 1 conviction. The jury recommends leniency. The press was excluded from the courtroom. The offender is engaged to be married, stays as sober as a judge, and is a self-taught person as well. The offender is a scientist.
Wait, he taught himself how to be a scientist? He was doing some kind of chemistry. I just realized that. Holy shit. You know how much self-schooling you have to do? Even I'm not crazy enough to do that. What the?
Bailiff Terry, you're scoring this. What are your thoughts?
Science!
How much science can a man do before he gets thrown in jail?
Yes, how many years and months of science are you...
Ray Beakers!
All right, what do you think, Bailiff Terry? What are your thoughts?
On a more serious note, jail, and I will say 3 years.
All right, we got a bid for 3 years of jail from Bailiff Terry. Bailiff Stormy, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm gonna go with Terry. That's because of the science.
I love that you unmuted, you pitched in, and we could hear your laughter. Okay, so we've got a second vote for the 3 years of jail. Bailiff June.
I am not in a state to be answering. I think Mr. 59-year-old neighborly thug man should probably go to jail for 3 years.
Well, we've got the consensus. I'll also take 3 years of jail.
Dr. Thug. Like what?
All right, let's see how we scored.
What the fuck?
5 years, 9 months of prison.
It wasn't even $2,000. What? Nobody got hurt.
I mean,
They're like, no, we know this motherfucker. We're sick of his ass.
the offender's wallet was hurt.
5 years and 9 months of prison.
He wasn't even doing it selfish. No, he was funding it for a friend's sex change operation. Come on now.
All right, let's see how many gavels we got on this one. Holy crap, we got 5 gavels.
What?
Gobble, 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 gobble.
Our judicial IQ is 79.
Who would have fucking thought? Not me.
All right, everybody, we're going to do a hydration check because I need one. So everyone grab your waters or relative facsimiles, and let's do a hydration check.
I will be right back. I'll just be muted for a minute. I'll be right back.
There you go.
Check.
Yeah, we can always take a bio break. I mean, we're never that serious in the game to diminish bio breaks. If everyone wants to take a quick bio break, by all means, go for it. I can entertain the audience.
With science.
Not bio break science. I was watching. All right, I'm just gonna type recess by 5-minute bio break into the. There we go. So yeah, that goes for yourself as well, Stormy, if you wanted to grab a quick bio break. So this past week has been the Awesome Games Done Quick Speedrun Marathon charity event. And during one of the streams, because they play a whole gamut of various video games throughout the week, one of the games was for Kimono Friends, which was one of my favorite animes from about 5 years ago. And the entire premise of Kimono Friends is that it takes place during an anthropomorphic zoo after the apocalypse, and a whole bunch of animals get introduced and they all have friendship adventures, and it's kind of like Friendship of Friendship Lands. And each episode is bookended by animal facts. So when this speedrunner was playing the Kimono Friends video game, every time he beat a level, he had the host, the announcer who was reading out donations, actually read out animal facts. And so my brain is overloaded with animal facts right now. Apparently, armadillos can hold their breath for 6 minutes, and so they tend to walk across the bottoms of rivers.
Never knew that.
I don't think anyone ever knew that. It's an incredibly oblique animal fact. So, anyway, that happened. Let's see, what other animal facts did I hear? I think it was the vampire bat of South America is one of the most social bats of the bat family and will often go out of their way to share food and lodging with other bats within their communion. That's a Bailiff June fruit bat kind of.
I believe I have heard of that.
What's that, Stormy?
They go out of their way, even to the detriment of themselves, to take care of someone else.
There you go. Way to go, fruit bats. Actually, those are vampire bats of South America. Yeah, crazy animal facts, which I never knew. And there's your 5-minute bio break, everybody.
I heard something about bats.
Stormy, you want to repeat your clarification there?
Did you know that vampire bats have an anesthesia in their saliva? So they'll get on and they'll bite an animal, and the anticoagulant in their saliva also they can just sit there and hang on and drink and drink and drink, and the animal doesn't even realize that the bat's there.
Would it be inappropriate for me to say, need me a free guy?
Did you know that vampire bats prefer blood oranges?
I mean, blood oranges are awesome.
But also, we were saying that bats tend to take care of their community members so well that it's to the detriment of themselves just to help out the community.
Ain't that the fucking truth? God damn.
Once again, everyone, if you're watching the stream, Bailiff June Kawamori has her own YouTube channel.
Don't you advertise me. You knock that shit off.
And she is a fruit bat. All right.
No.
Go check her stream out. And Bailiff Terry 3GS, you also have a YouTube channel yourself, don't you?
Yep, same name, Terry 3Gs.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Bailiff Stormy, you don't, so you can just go sit in the milk.
Ah, fine.
Jesus Christ. I'm learning not to take sips whenever people start talking. Oh, God.
Go sit in the milk was a George Carlin insult, and I've always kept it with me. Okay, everybody. Are we? By the way, Bailiff Stormy, do you have any retorts to that? Anything to respond to with that?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm just gonna sit here and blow bubbles in the milk.
There you go. Well, as Judge Tethercat, I'm going to say it's time for our next case, everybody. Remember, it is how much and what kind of information that is important.
In 1984.
Fake Alternate Earth 1984. The crime is illegal business practice. We've seen one of these before tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get started, does anyone want to take the initiative and score this case?
If it's not a hot dog cart, no. If it is a hot dog cart, yes. I will make that preference right out of the gate.
Okay, we've got a
My
bid.
stipulation.
Bailiffs Terry or Stormy, do either of you have a preference for judging this case?
If it's about the illegal business practices of Lucky the prostitute, I can sure take that one.
All right, so we've got some stipulations
it seems
here.
to be Sausage Fest approved.
Yeah, that's the best of both worlds. All right, so I will take this one then. I'll score this case on the instance that it doesn't involve a hot dog cart, in which case it falls to Bailiff June, and in the instance that doesn't involve prostitution, in which case it goes to Bailiff Stormy. Is that all right, everybody?
Sounds good to me.
Great to me.
There we go. In the crime of illegal business practice, let's look at the details of this crime. And we're going to look at the demographics. The offender is a 34-year-old Hispanic woman. The victims are the state and the people. The offender-victim relationship, the offender figured that a few victims were inevitable. The weapon used physical injury. The offender created another love canal.
She what?
Another?
Science! Oh no!
Bailiff Stormy, I do believe this falls under prostitution.
I think so. I am intrigued. Please continue.
Okay.
The defendant was a vampire bat.
All right, so Bailiff Stormy, you're going to be scoring this one. The property damage or loss was $1.1 million.
Oh my god!
That's
my
a
God,
lot of
what?
love tunnels.
That's a lot of love canals.
And
Gotta build a lot of dams.
the excuse given for this crime, the offender said she thought she could get rich.
I mean, that was $1 million worth of love canals.
Oh yeah, she got rich.
I'm just going to look at the demographics. She's 34 years old. Okay, let's look at the offender's criminal record here. This 34-year-old woman, prior crimes include offenses against wildlife.
Oh no! I don't like this. I don't like this.
This was with the fruit bats.
I gotta go. I gotta get out.
prior arrests and convictions. 1 prior recorded arrest, 1 prior recorded conviction.
You can't be doing that to wildlife.
The fugitive status on the day of the crime. Arizona wants her.
Oh, she was fucking around in Arizona.
The offender's reputation. She's also known as Scarface.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Say hello to my little friend.
Exactly.
My little friend is a fruit bat. Let's look at the...
No! Leave me out of this!
Sorry, vampire bat. I misspoke. It was a typo. Vampire bat. Let's look at the pre-sentence report. And we're going to look at the personal details. The offender is married by common law, doesn't use drugs, and is a recipient of reform school honors. Okay. The employment history is the offender is a white-collar worker. The courtroom prosecution details the defendant was held in contempt of court. The prosecutor calls for a strong sentence at a press conference.
I need clarification what contempt of court is.
That's usually where... Yes, Bailiff Stormy?
That she was being a smartass like us.
Yeah. In its boiled down essence, yes, she was being a smartass in court. The judge was having none of it, said, I'm holding you in contempt.
She's like, I need to get back. I need to keep making more love canals.
Contempt, bam. Bailiff Stormy, do you want to look at mental history or personal details? Or, offender's upbringing?
I'd like to see mental history, please.
All right. The offender has acute anxiety. She scratches the skin off the backs of her hands.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeesh.
Bless you?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Bless you.
Oh, sorry. I muted the Discord YouTube, but I didn't mute the disc. Yeah. Sorry about that. I thought I hit mute. I didn't. Okay. Let's run through the known facts. Keep your eye on this, Bailiff Stormy. It's all on you. The crime is illegal business practice. The property damage or loss was $1.1 million. The offender figured that a few victims were inevitable. The offender created another love canal. The offender is a 34-year-old Hispanic woman. The victims are the state and the people. The offender said she thought she could get rich. Arizona wants her. The offender is also known as Scarface. Prior crimes include offenses against wildlife. She has had 1 recorded prior arrest and 1 recorded prior conviction. The defendant was held in contempt of court. The prosecutor calls for a strong sentence at a press conference. The offender has acute anxiety. She scratches the skin off the backs of her hands. The offender is married by common law, doesn't use drugs, and is a recipient of reform school honors. And the offender is a white-collar worker. Blah, 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 blah. Ah.
So was she being a drug mule? You know, she doesn't do drugs.
Say hello to my little love canals.
All right, so Bailiff Stormy, what are your thoughts on this?
Green Judge Wapner always goes hard.
And he judges hard, too.
Yep. I want to go prison. Just because of the amount of property damage and loss.
So how many years are you thinking?
$7?
That sounded like it had a question mark on the end of it, but we're going to throw down 7 for you.
Yeah, I think 7. Yeah.
Okay. So we've got a bid of 7 years of prison. Let's go bailiff June.
As an advocate for wildlife victims, I will say that with the total amount of property damage totaling over $1 million, the amount of medical knowledge, or I guess non-knowledge in this case, that is required in order for her to be running a clinic out of her house, because I'm assuming that's what she's doing. She's not like in a hospital setting doing this. It's a situation like how people go to Brazil for BBLs, like that kind of thing, and like whoever's offering it, they just go see them. And she thought she could get rich off of this. She was held in contempt of court. I was leaning in closer to like at least 10 years, if not like 15 years. That's a lot of money and a lot of people that she hurt, and also she's a jackass about it.
Another thing to justify that is in what, 82, 84? This was the Reagan era, and he was going hard against drugs.
All right, so the initial bid from Bailiff Stormy was 7 years, but Bailiff June has put forward a 10 and possibly up to 15-year prison adjustment.
I say 12 then. 12 years.
All right. We haven't heard from Bailiff Terry yet. What are your thoughts?
My belief is that this was an illegal animal breeding ground through love canals. So, in turn, to accumulate $1 million of debt, there must have been a lot of animal breeding going on. So, I feel there should be a more stricter sentence of 25 years in prison.
Wow, all right. Bailiff ladies, what are your thoughts on a 25 bid?
I mean, that was a lot of money. If we're not looking at anything else, even just the sheer amount of damage in terms of monetary loss, that's a lot. That's a lot. And if not to get too descriptive, but do you know those things that you can buy where it like spiralizes the pineapple for you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking
Is that
about?
a euphemism?
No, I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
no.
if she does not have access to proper medical tools, she
You just stick it on and then swirl it down.
Yeah, there you go.
You're talking like circumcision?
No, have you not seen the thing that I'm talking? It's like one big. It kind of looks like a drill almost, but it's meant for a pineapple because it cuts the pineapple flesh like in a spiral shape, but it also takes out the core of the pineapple.
Trying
So
to say that she was trying to get the animals to inseminate the pineapples?
no, that's
What? What?
There's your fruit bat.
I'm just talking about the tool used.
I'm never eating another pineapple again.
I give up 20 years. I don't know anymore.
Pineapple!
Say
I trust the fruit bat on this one.
yeah.
Okay, so we got 12, we got 25, we got 20. My thought is, actually, I'm kind of brain dead on this one. You guys are all funny. I
should say 25.
I'm gonna say 15 right in the middle. So, all right, you guys got a number you want to throw at me here?
17.
We got 17.
We're gonna go with 17.
All right, Terry, you cool with
But
7?
the wildlife will be almost legal by then.
Hey!
And the pineapple will be ripe. Let's go 17 years, everybody.
Let the pineapple impregnation begin.
This is such a weird case. Here we go, everybody. Jail, 21 months, 8 days.
Wow.
It's a little heavy-handed, I gotta admit.
Oh, there ain't no other way. What the fuck?
Just shy of 2 years of jail.
I don't jail for less than 2 years on $1.1 million in
Yes.
monetary damages.
Yeah.
Contempt of court. Thought she could get rich. Has a prior conviction against wildlife circumstances. I don't know.
Those are some pretty small love canals.
Oh my god.
Jeez. Okay, that's painful. I admit I didn't see this coming. Let's take a look at our score. 1 gavel.
I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Double. One double.
Perhaps we should all be studying medicine or judicial IQ. Although our judicial
Lay off the wine.
Our judicial IQ is 66, which I started the evening off with 3 straight cases where I had 1 gavel and a judicial IQ of 11. So we're all still doing good.
Yay!
All right.
3 dishes for the win.
All right. Are y'all still on for more?
I'll do one more considering it's already past 11.
Oh.
1 more for me.
Okay. Then let's do our final case of the evening because I'm well past my bedtime. Now it's time for our final case. Remember, it is how much and what kind of information that is important. Before we get started, does anyone want... Actually, no, let's see what the case is, and then we'll take bids. The defendant is to be sentenced for the crime of setting a false alarm. Who wants to score this one?
So going into a movie theater and yelling fire?
Yeah. Or going
More
to
or
a
less.
movie theater and just pulling that fire alarm. Yeah.
Popcorn!
Sure, I'll do it. Why not?
There we go. Bailiff June will be scoring
Not
this
setting
one.
a false alarm. I need to make that very clear. I'm not the one going in.
Yeah.
setting a false alarm.
Yeah, you're not taking notes here. Gotcha. All right, let's look at
It
the
was the extra butter.
let's look at the details of this crime.
After the wildlife and the pineapple of last round, I don't want any association with the crimes.
Here we go. And we're going to look at the demographics for this crime of setting a false alarm. The offender is a 24-year-old black Protestant male. The victims are the state and the people. The offender-victim relationship. The offender gave no thought to any victims.
He was too busy just bawling, doing whatever it was that he was doing. He did not care.
The weapon used physical injury? None. The property damage or loss was $1,575.
So not a laughable amount of money. That's a pretty penny.
That's correct. The excuse given for this crime? He said he wanted to impress a movie star.
Not this guy again! Didn't we have this guy? He's in a Britney Spears music video. Not this guy again.
That guy.
I swear to God, we've had this guy already.
I remember that
How
guy.
many times has he already been through the system? He showed up again.
Well, he's back for one more.
Excuse me, miss. Would you like me to butter your popcorn?
What's that, Stormy?
He's a repeat offender.
That he is.
The last guy definitely was. He had so many prior arrests and convictions.
All right, speaking of which, let's take a look at the offender's criminal record, and we're going to look at adult prior crime types. They include gambling.
Oh.
And his recorded prior arrests and convictions are 2 convictions for arrests.
The same guy.
The fugitive status on the day of the crime is that he was wanted by the military police.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Everyone's favorite category, the offender's reputation. He's a Little League coach.
No, the last Little League coach we had was the guy selling cars, and he was an asshole.
This guy, he sets false alarms.
Great. Fantastic.
Let's look at the pre-sentence report. We're going to look at the personal details. This man is soon to be wed. Congratulations. He's a teetotaler, and he has a grammar school education.
He's a what now?
A teetotaler is someone who abstains from alcohol and other such unsavory devices.
So he's straight-laced.
Basically, yep.
Okay.
I am a real fox has joined into the chat. Welcome aboard. Fox is a frequenter of the chat, and so yes, by all means, please enjoy the circumstances we're dealing with here.
No more wildlife. No more wildlife.
We've got a lot of bailiffs happening, and you're welcome to join in on the once we do our summary on the clipboard. The employment history of this offender is that they are a college student.
Okay.
Wait, no. He just said that he was a grammar school graduate.
Well, he's graduated from grammar school, but now he's taking college.
He's moving on up in life.
Just totally bypass primary school and high school.
He just needed to know grammar. No math. Yeah. No science.
Yeah. All right, let's look at the courtroom prosecution details. The defendant gave up his Confederates for setting a false alarm. Newspapers call for action.
What?
All right.
Buddies went out to go set up false alarms.
Is he setting up a false alarm like in a military setting? He's wanted by the military police.
Yep. And he turned around and ratted out his accomplice.
That's right.
For boxes of Cracker Jacks.
Does anyone want to see the mental history or offender's upbringing?
I do want to see the mental history.
All right. The offender is schizo. Yeah, you got to pronounce it that way, incidentally. He has periods of confusion. Like,
I am confusion. Why is this one Arkansas?
All right. Keep those feelings in check because we're going to review the known facts. I'm a real fox. This is where you get to also tag along, take a look at everything that's transpired, and then pass your judgment with the rest of us. In the crime of setting a false alarm, the property damage or loss was $1,570. The offender gave no thought to any of his victims. There were no personal injuries involved. The offender is a 24-year-old man. The victims are the state and the people. The offender said he wanted to impress a movie star. The offender is wanted by military police. The offender is a Little League coach. His prior crimes include gambling. He has had 4 recorded prior arrests and 2 recorded prior convictions. The defendant gave up his Confederates. Newspapers call for action. The offender is schizophrenic. He has periods of confusion. The offender is soon to be wed, is a teetotaler, and has a grammar school education. However, the offender is a college student. Bailiff June, welcome to your case.
Oh, boy. Okay. Property loss being less than $2,000 with nobody being injured leans me towards jail instead of prison. You know, if the military police want to scoop him up, that's none of my business. Like, we are just focused on him setting a false alarm. What was the false alarm? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't fucking know.
I'm a real fox said in chat, well, he doesn't seem the brightest.
No, he does not seem to be the brightest. He wanted to do it for impressing a movie star, and he gave no thought to any of the people that were victims of this. He also ratted out his compatriots because he had some apparently in this situation. I don't know why. Gosh. Just focusing on property damage and nobody getting hurt and this dude kind of just being a moron, I'm gonna say let's do the equivalent of 3 years.
All right, we're doing a bid of 36 months of jail, 3 years of jail time. I'm a real fox. This is where you also get to judge whether you would give a certain type of punishment and a length of sentence. Let's go to Bailiff Terry on this one. Bailiff Terry, what are your thoughts?
He did it for boxes of Cracker Jacks because he also wanted to butter the movie star's popcorn. So, for that reason, 5 years of jail.
All right, we've got a bid for 3 years of jail and 5 years of jail. Bailiff Stormy, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna go 13 months.
Ooh. Of jail time, is that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got a bid of 3 years of jail, 5 years of jail, and just over 1 year of jail. Once again, Fox, if you have any thoughts, you can pitch them in the chat and we'll take yours under advisement as well. Setting a false alarm, and given everything that everyone said, I'm also inclined for jail time. I don't see this as prison worthy. I actually do see it as probation worthy, but it would have to be a long time for probation, like 7 or 8 years of probation.
See that.
So I'll go with his for jail time. I'll dive on that, but I would say 2 years. So now we've got 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and 5 year of jail. Does anyone want to revise their estimate?
I'm willing to go down to 2 years.
Yeah, I'm willing to go up to 2 years. Yeah.
Science.
2 years it is, I guess.
All right.
And buttered cracker jacks.
I don't know if I'll ever get back. All right, so we're gonna do 2 years of jail time. Fox, you're gonna pitch in your thoughts, and we'll write them down on the back of your napkin. Let's take a look, everybody. See how we did. Probation: 6 years, 6 months.
Okay, yeah.
And 2 years of jail is heavy compared to 6.5 years of probation.
I would rather just do the 2 years in jail than
Mind
have
you, though,
somebody following me for
guess
6 years.
It's actually more accurate.
The I'm a real fox just put into chat exotic butter.
Exotic butter.
All right, everybody, let's see what our score is here. Only one gavel. Perhaps we should study medicine.
I'm busy studying science.
We can't go out on that.
Oh. Well, we've got a request for one more case.
The peer pressure. Okay.
Excellent.
Woohoo!
I'm actually with Stormy on this one. I'm cool for one more case.
I'm good.
Well, then there we go. It's time for our next case. Remember, it is how much and what kind of information that is important. Oh, we're going to be sentencing for the crime of criminal negligence.
I need to frequently Google to make sure that I am under the same understanding.
I'll read it aloud. I've just had to hop into chat to post what it was. Can you read it aloud if you pull it up?
Criminal negligence refers to conduct in which a person ignores a known or obvious risk or disregards the life and safety of others.
Ooh. Oh, that sounds tasty.
Federal and state courts describe this behavior as a form of recklessness, where the person acts significantly differently than an ordinary person would under similar circumstances.
There you go, everybody. Does anyone want to take this case?
I don't know if I want to take it on first glance, because I want to know more.
All right.
Sounds like a love canal to me.
No more love canals!
All right.
Why don't we look and see what the case is first, and then decide who gets first stab?
Sounds like a plan. Let's do a communal judgment at the end. Let's take a look at the details of this crime. The crime is criminal negligence. The demographics are: the offender is a 43-year-old white Catholic male. The victims are the state and the people. The offender-victim relationship: the offender said that the victims should have been more careful.
Oh, this dude's an ass.
The weapon used in... Yes, Bailiff Stormy?
No, I was gonna wait.
The weapon used in physical injury: unsafe tampons were marketed prematurely, resulting in deaths from toxic shock syndrome.
Oh my god!
No! We're talking love canal again!
No! Come on!
I
Wow.
don't think we've ever had this one.
That is quite the negligence. Holy moly!
And I just want to run back one previous, and the offender said that the victims should have been more careful.
The victims should have been more careful.
They shouldn't have been
You're not
installing them
labeling your products
sideways.
right.
I hope all of your blood pressures are doing well tonight. Let's look at the property damage or loss.
Oh, I'm fucking pissed now.
Property damage or loss was
my
$1.4 million.
Can we hang him?
Remember, the death penalty is never
Buy
an
his
option.
tampon.
But I also want to point out, one thing. So it was $1.4 million in property damage or loss. However, the weapon used physical injury, unsafe tampons were marketed prematurely, resulting in deaths. So this isn't a case of simple monetary loss here. There were death plural. Okay.
Prison.
With that said, the demographics being that this 43-year-old man, the excuse given for this crime is he said he had to do it to stay in business.
This scummy motherfucker. Oh my god. I'm so angry right now. I need to throw this dude in prison myself.
What was that, Bailiff Terry?
I said asbestos tampons?
Asbestos!
1984.
No!
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the offender's criminal record. And we're going to look at adult prior crime types. They include vandalism.
What the hell's this 43-year-old man doing?
Vandalizing tampons, apparently.
The prior arrests and convictions are for this 43-year-old man: 6 recorded prior arrests, 1 recorded prior conviction. And the fugitive status on the day of the crime: he's a bail jumper.
Oh my god.
Is ever
It's a tampon jumper.
Terry, we know it's tampons. Stop it. Let's really rile up our blood pressure and look at the offender's reputation. The offender is a political terrorist.
Huh?
Yeah, your blood's all...
Chili sauce in the tampon, didn't he?
If you voted for Reagan, here's a tampon.
Jeez. Let's look at the pre-sentence report on this one. And we're going to look at his personal details. The offender is unwed, is addicted to heroin, and is a community college student as well.
43?
43. And remember, he did it to stay in business. Let's look at his employment history. He's a white-collar worker.
Yeah, at his own tampon factory, I guess.
It's a white tampon worker.
The courtroom prosecution details are, the probation officer recommends jail time. Aw, isn't that sweet? Good boy, have a dog bone. The press was excluded from the courtroom. Does anyone
Yeah,
want...
they would blow him up. God.
Does anyone want to look at offender's upbringing or mental history? I say both.
No, I don't
Yes,
care about this dude. I just want to throw him in prison already.
Yes, so need to see that.
Let's look at the offender's upbringing. The offender's parents were happily married, and the offender was born in Australia.
Good for you.
The mental history. This 43-year-old man occasionally has delusions of grandeur.
Okay. Doesn't what do they mean by that?
Well, clearly he thinks better of himself than he does $1.4 million worth of deaths.
God.
All right.
The kangaroos made me do it.
Shall we look at the known facts, everybody?
Yes.
Yes, please.
In the crime of criminal negligence, the property damage or loss was $1.4 million. The offender said that the victims should have been more careful. Unsafe tampons were marketed prematurely, resulting in the deaths from toxic shock syndrome. The offender is a 43-year-old white Catholic male. The victims are the state and the people. The offender said he had to do it to stay in business. The offender is a bail jumper. The offender is a political terrorist. Prior crimes include vandalism, and he has had 6 recorded prior arrests and 1 recorded prior conviction. The probation officer recommends jail time. The press was excluded from the courtroom. The offender's parents were happily married, and the offender was born in Australia. The offender occasionally has delusions of grandeur. The offender is unwed, is addicted to heroin, and is a community college student. The offender is a white-collar worker. I'm just going to throw this to everyone. You all pitch in.
No, I'm taking this. I hate this guy. 25 years prison.
That's exactly what I was thinking. 25 years prison.
I hate this motherfucker so much. I hate this man.
I'm going to predict that this will actually crash.
You can't do that because it's
So
not gonna.
I win!
Yeah, because that's an automatic win. But Bailiff Terry, what do you think?
I'll go up to 25.
All right, I'm going to be the odd one out here and say I would do 40 and even 50.
Ooh.
This wasn't death. Regardless of the $1.4 million, let's just throw that aside for the moment. This wasn't death from TSS. This was death, plural deaths. So whatever you might want to do for a singular death case, let's just multiply that by at least 2. And so when you start factoring in the $1.4 million in addition to causing deaths, being so brazenly arrogant about it, oh, well, you know what? They should have just, considered not doing it. The fact that he has delusions of grandeur, all that, you know what? 40, maybe even 50. Fuck this guy. I say 40 years. I don't care that Green Judge Wapner's going to give 25 or maybe 2 months of probation. Screw it. I say 40.
They should have read on it that it was filled with heroin.
I don't think he's sharing that with anybody. I don't think he wants to. How much did the person get convicted for the presidential assassination? 32?
The maximum that I had ever seen was 35, and in the presidential assassination, the case was judged at 32.5, but it was an incredibly milquetoast character. This guy is a character.
45.
But given the fact of what you were also saying, the dollar amount of 1.4 million in the late 70s, early 80s, that'd be equivalent in this day and age to about 1.4 billion. So, no, I think you're probably more right, Tether, and to go with 50 years prison.
Bailiff Stormy?
I agree. And the sad thing is there's people out there now that are this way.
I love how every one of us is angry. Let's do 20 years, no 25, no 50, no, let's just send them to Mars. All right, let's put in 40 as per my original.
Mars!
Let's send him into the sun. Okay, everybody.
Where's the Mars option?
With Elon.
With Elon. All right, let's do 40 years of prison. It's not going to be that much, but it'll make us feel good. Is everyone cool with this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Here we go. Jail, 21 months, 2 days.
Yo, I hate this guy so much. If I hated the tampon guy, I hate this judge even fucking more. Why is this the guy that we have to work with?
Get your crack pawns. Get your crack pawns.
I knew that we were not going to get a symmetrical duck on this. I knew that we weren't going to be happy, and so I knew we would have to go morally correct and feel good about ourselves, because this green fuck wouldn't help us in that anyway.
21
months
in jail.
Not even 2 years. Fucking slap on the wrist. $1.4 million in deaths.
Multiple deaths.
Yeah.
Lots of deaths.
Judge must have been bribed.
And the probation officer recommends jail.
And the judge was in on the heroin.
Must have been. He's doing a lot more than just smoking hashish.
He smoked a few tampons.
All right, everybody, let's look at our score. Surprise, surprise, one gavel. We should be studying, apparently, medicine. Jesus.
I think I've studied enough medicine to know that toxic shock syndrome is not good, and if it results in death, maybe a little longer than not even 2 years jail time.
Obviously, the judge needs to study medicine.
I'm a Real Foxes on chat. The comments were a bit lax during that last one, and you missed a good one there, Fox. Is my comment coming through? Yes, we can see it now. But boy, you just missed a really angry... Actually, no, you may have caught the case and your comments weren't coming up. Yeah, you can see it on screen. Fox, what were your thoughts on that previous one if you saw it? Because now I'm curious. Let's see what the Peanut Gallery has to say. Because that was pretty infuriating all around. This is the reason I love this game.
That's like the most infuriating case that we've had, I think.
I've seen worse, but not by much.
I think that's the most infuriating one I've seen, at least.
I don't know. Bailiff Stormy, what were your... I've been saying to yeet him, says Fox. I've been saying to yeet him. Yeah, good job.
We yeeted him as much as we could without just straight up offing him, I guess.
And he still got 21 months of jail. Bailiff Stormy, what are your thoughts on the aggravation of that last one?
Oh my god, I was seeing red. And it's not even because it's that time of the month. I mean, it is, but...
In this case, it is.
In this case, it is for all of us.
This case was left hanging by a string.
I didn't realize we were all synced up.
He was caught red-handed, wasn't he?
You know, you kids, the I don't know how I can further punctuate this one except to say period.
I hate you. I hate you so fucking much right now.
That would be a string theory.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching the stream. It's been wonderful having all of you on a crime and punishment stream. We have had so many bailiffs joining in, both through the voice chat as well as on the live chat. I want to thank every single one of you for joining in. I want to thank Fox for joining in on chat, and GC earlier, as well as Lucy. Bailiff Stormy, you've been wonderful. I appreciate you coming on, and you had some fun with your cases.
Yes, I did. Had fun with some of June's cases too.
There you go. And you're always welcome to come back there, Bailiff Stormy. I want to thank Bailiff June, because Bailiff June, you've grown into this game so much. You've really taken to these cases. So thanks for showing up. Bailiff June is June Cowmore. She has a YouTube channel. By all means, everyone go and subscribe to her channel.
Shut up. Also, yes, I simultaneously hate and love this game, as you can see.
And Bailiff Terry also has a YouTube channel. You can go check out Bailiff Terry 3GS. Thanks for showing up and being the bailiff for these cases. You've been you.
Science.
Science.
I'm the odd duck out. I need to go make a channel.
Bailiff Stormy, you totally need to make a YouTube channel, and then you can get on there, and I don't even know what you toss on your channel, but it would be awesome. I can assure you that.
It's been a hoot.
Incidentally, in the chat is I Am a Real Fox spamming with exotic butter, and as well you should. I Am a Real Fox also has a YouTube channel. Quite frequently plays Terraria. You should go and subscribe to I Am a Real Fox. And myself, I am Judge Tethercat. I really want to thank everyone for showing up for this instance, this courtroom proceeding of Crime and Punishment. And may I just say, court is adjourned. Thank you so much, everybody, for showing up. So, by the way, guys, everyone stay in the chat. Stay in the chat. I'm going to close down the channel and the and the run, but we can all stay in chat for just a bit longer. So, everyone, have yourselves a good evening and take care.
Have a good night, y'all.
Konnichiwa.
And the music starts.
Hello,
and there we go.
You know, I've been picking and trying to pick a banjo for 40 years or more. I used to just play the imitations, but now I'm going to give you a little of the variations of Casey Jones. Gentlemen, now folks, I'm going to give you a little of Old Dan Tucker, containing more heterogeneous constant policy, double flavor and unknown quality than usual. Fine old man, I watched his face in the frying pan. I combed his head with the wagon wheel, died the toothache in his heel. Got away, old Dan Tucker, he come too late to get your supper. Tucker was a hard-ridden sinner, never said grace over his dinner. The old hog squealed. dog with tail and all. By the way, old Dan Tucker, he come too late to get your supper. Old Tom Wilson got on a drunk, fell in the fire and kicked up a chunk charcoal, got inside the shoe. Lord bless you, honey, how the ashes flew. By the way, old Dan Tucker, he come too late to get your supper. Here's the booze and Choctaw cider, lemon extract and old Budweiser horse said it bitter than the doctor's tonic. The good book said a little good for the stomach.